Hello folks, welcome back to the tavern, welcome back to the Matchday Tavern. We've got Carabao Cup football tonight, again, second night running. We had a big goal, well, a goal fest, let's call it, last night with, pretty much every game seemed like it had goals in last night. There was all sorts of Birmingham 1, Brentford 6. We, of course, watched Southampton 1, West Ham 4. It felt like there were lots of goals going in everywhere, and there always seems to be lots of goals in these midweek cup fixtures. So I expect goals tonight as well, as David Moyes returns back to where it all began, returns back to Preston. The big... That was where he got his managerial break, wasn't it? And he went on and did really well there, and that's what platformed him for Everton. And then he went to Everton. But yeah, Paul Heckingbottom's Preston, not the best in terms of seasons last year. I don't really know what to expect with Preston anymore. I always saw Preston as a team, as a club that were always going to compete and, cusp of the playoffs. They've been a steady, it feels like a steady championship side for a while now. I'd really like to see Preston kick on and become a Premier League club. And yeah, I'd be lying if I said I was an Everton supporter tonight. I'm a Liverpool fan, of course. I want to see Preston upset the odds tonight, but somehow I don't think it'll happen. Who we got in the chat tonight? Good to see everyone. We are 9 minutes away from kickoff. Let's go through the lineups and everything shortly. Matty, thank you very much for joining the Matchday Tavern Members Club. Really, really appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much. Finners Matty, long-term taverner. He's been around for a while, haven't you, Matty? You know the ropes. Who else have we got in tonight? Sarah, lovely to see you. 3-star, great to see you. Catherine, good to see you too. Hiller, Sheldon, of course Sheldon. Come on, my team. Come on, the Blues, up the Toffees. Never. Northfield's in, good lad. Who else is in tonight? Manolis. Hey, Manolis is in, my Greek friend. How are you, sir? Who else are we missing? Pete's in. Good evening, Key. Everybody, come on, Preston. Yes, come on, Preston. Connor, what's up, Key? Nothing at all, mate. I'm having a great night. How are you? Good to see you. Today is a big day for us Greeks. We have 10 minutes. AEK versus CSKA Sofia in the Champions League second round of playoffs. 0-0 for the first leg. Nice. Julius, good to see you, mate. No, listen, no rush about that. You join. I appreciate it whenever you're able to become a member. If you are able to, if you're not, just be known that I really appreciate you as well. That doesn't. I value the members who contribute to the channel. I massively love you guys. You know that, but I appreciate it's not something that everybody can do. So I totally understand. Don't worry about it, and it's great to see you. It's always great to see you in the chat. Ben, didn't Moyes play at Preston too? He did. He played at Preston, and he played with Beckham at Preston as well, didn't he? Yeah, he played with Beckham at Preston. I've got some exciting news as well. Some very exciting news from a taverner point of view. I have, and I'm hoping it'll be ready for this weekend. I've got it all set up for voice notes. So I'm just trying to practically work it so that I can very seamlessly get you guys, you can send me a voice note and I can listen to it, make sure you're not saying anything horrendous, and then play it to everyone, play it to you guys, and you can be involved in the live. You can have your say. You can actually have your say beyond just maybe a text on the screen. You can actually get involved, and we want to hear from you. And it'll be a little bit more interactive. So really looking forward to it. That should be coming very, very soon. There's a lot of channels that seem to be trying the whole ring-in, call-in thing, and it is fraught with danger, to be honest. Poor Saeed did one the other week, and I think he made it the decision there, and then I'm never, ever going to do phone-ins again because some guy came on and did something which massively could have put his channel in jeopardy. So the whole point of this is it allows me to just screen things and make sure that we've got nobody misbehaving. But yeah, you can. I'll put my number. My number will be up on screen. You can send your voice note to us on WhatsApp, and it'll be played through the through the fine medium of the internet and everyone can hear you. So it's not just my dulcet tones anymore. Maybe we'll get to hear Shell. Maybe we'll get to hear Shell at some point, or Brendan, whatever. Brendan, have you found an inexperienced, eager videographer or editor to exploit yet? Not as yet, no, mate. Not as yet. I'm still working on it. Right, how do I turn this on? Right, there you go. Come on, Key. Sort yourself out, mate. Sort your life out, lad. Sort your bloody life out. Alright, there you go. Okay, so this one is on Sky Sports tonight. Not TNT Sports, that's Olympiacos. There you go. Preston both ends against Everton. It's on 5:03. Newcastle are on 5:0. Oh, Newcastle West Brom, isn't it? Newcastle West Brom on 5:04. Pete says the draw is not regionalised. It's fully open. And Rye, do you think Liverpool will sign anyone? I wouldn't be so sure, you know. I really wouldn't be so sure. Hey, Julius is in. Julius, our fifth tavern member. Really appreciate you, Julius. What a guy. Thank you so much. Long-term member of the channel as well, Julius. Love you to bits, mate. Thank you for that. Really appreciate you showing your support to the channel. City of Northfield are still going to sneak in offensive memes you aren't up on yet. Probably should run the voice through some kind of AI as well, to be sure. I know. And to be honest, it's more, what I'll do is I'll get, there'll be some regulars who'll do voice notes, and then maybe it'll get to the point where I can just trust people. I'll know that if it comes from that number, I can trust it. And now I don't need to screen it so much. Maybe I'll take some chances. I'll get cocky with it at some point. 3 stars says, put Olympiacos on, Key. I might be able to see some of our players we keep selling to them. Yeah, Gustavo Sarr's just gone there, hasn't he? Joe, Key, can I get your thoughts on Lask v Celtic? It wasn't a great game, was it, for Celtic? That a real letdown, a real collapse. Very sad. Very, very sad to see Celtic go out like that. I don't mean that in I'm not being facetious. I really would have liked to see Celtic go through. But, man, 5 goals conceded away at Lask. Sweet baby Jesus. Scouse, they've done half draw already before. Liverpool are at home. Have they? Liverpool are at home. Second, for sure. Finners, very long time. Key, have been in since the beginning pretty much. I had a different username, though. You've always been Finners Matty as far as I can remember. Or a similar derivative. Adzo, need your thoughts on Mbaye at PSG. How good do you think he is and will become? Very, very talented player. How good could he become is anyone's guess. I would prefer him to Ismail Assar, and I really, really like Ismail Assar. I would prefer Mbaye possibly to Minter as well. I think Minter's really, really good, but he's just not got the numbers. I feel like someone will sign Minter and he'll go like that. He'll absolutely skyrocket. Ibrahim Mbaye's a little bit more of an obvious one. He's a very, very talented boy. Right, Preston, Nichols in goal, Valentin, Story, Gibson, Vukcevic, Thompson, Leroy, Moran, Thierry Small, ex-Everton. Oh, Thierry Small. Up there. Go on, please, Thierry Small, score. Pickford's in goal for Everton. Roll, Keane, Tarkovsky, Mikalenko, Harrison Armstrong back at Preston. James Garner, Illiman Ndiaye, Dewsbury Hall, Tyler Diblin, and Tierno Barry. That is a surprise. I really thought that we would see maybe Tyrick George, maybe Brennan Johnson, maybe even Asnu starting tonight. But alas, no. Jake O'Brien on the bench for Everton tonight. He's obviously allegedly looking for a move away, not very happy at Everton. And I can kind of understand why. If I'm dead honest, I can understand Jake O'Brien. You know, he's got a midfielder starting over him at right back. Tarkovsky's been given the captaincy, so he's obviously going to start alongside Branthwaite. There's Irabi. Irabi, the new Preston number 9. He's on loan from Genk. He's had a very, very good start at Preston. 2 goals in 3 appearances so far. Yusuf Arabi, Swedish striker. Bradley, seen a Brighton fan saying United have got their Rice or their Caicedo with Baleba. No, that's not the case. That's definitely not the case. I think they're saying that based off the fact that I think they're saying that based off him 2 years ago, not last year for sure. 3-1 to the Blues, lads, and well, I'll tell you what. Listen, I will say this: we had a little bit of a pop at David Moyes, didn't we? We had a little bit of a pop at him for how he took the approach of maybe underplaying Everton's approach in the Cups. He had a bit of a prickly press conference the other day where he was talking to, there's Alan Irvine alongside him as always. He was talking to the journos about whether or not Everton could compete in the Cups, and it was like, well, it was a spiky question, I guess, from the journalist where he said, do you want to win the Cups, or are you going to be trying to win the Cups, or something along them lines? And Moyes kind of replied with, well, it's a silly question. Of course we're going to try and win the Cups, but which would you rather do? Win the Cup or stay in the Premier League? And it seemed to suggest, or it seems to maybe give an insight into how Moyes is thinking, that staying in the Premier League is still very much a priority for Everton. It's still something that's very much in the forefront of his mind, which is mad to me. I don't think Everton are anywhere near that. And I'm saying that as a Liverpool fan. I don't want them ever to go down, to be honest. I've always wanted Everton to stay up. But it just puzzled me a little bit, and it felt like a lot of Evertonians had a similar response. As I say, I've got quite a few Blues in the family as well who had words to say about it. They're not massive Moyes fans. Callum says the fans put pressure on Moyes to go strong, lad. Should have seen Facebook and X. Well, as they should, though. As they should. This is one of 2 trophies that Everton have a chance to win this year. They've got 2, that's it. That's the only chances Everton have of silverware. And for a club this big that has had 30-odd years with no trophies, you can't. You can't be so haphazard with your lineups in these cups. You've got to give everything in the 2 cup competitions. Corner to Everton. Michael Keane always a danger on these ones. It's going to be James Garner to whip it in. I don't like how much I actually rate James Garner. I really, really like him. Bradley says that Harrison Armstrong, Everton have a decent player. They do, yeah. Strike, Illiman and Dye. Good play from Preston on the counter. And actually, they're away now here. Thierry Small. Oh, you've got to get your foot under that. Go on, lad. Trapped under his feet, and he's not going to give it away. Please don't give it away. What are you doing? Oh, you absolute donut. As if you've lost that. I mean, credit where it's due, but my goodness me, Thierry Small, what are you doing, lad? Welsh Ring, hello everyone. What do we think of the 11 green bottle jobs last night? The Hoops had a bad night, didn't they? But yes, I agree. I do have to agree. I think Harrison Armstrong is a very, very talented player. I'd be interested to see what Evertonians in the chat think about Jack Grealish to Sunderland. That one seems to be doing the rumours today, doing the rounds. Jack Grealish to Sunderland. Bit of competition maybe for Everton for his signature. It seemed like a foregone conclusion that he would be coming back. LJ says, Key, you don't know how bloody desperate I am for a trophy. Like, no, mate, I know. I can understand it. Like I said, I've grew up with Evertonians in my family. I know how gutted they are every year when they put out weak. And that's why I went so strong on it last night. They put weakened sides out, it feels like, every year in the Cups. And I don't understand it, because I'm sitting here thinking, well, if you win a trophy for Everton, forget what Eddie Howe got at Newcastle. Like, there would be... I think it would be an open-top bus tour kind of thing, and it would be majorly celebrated, as it should be. To just shut Liverpool fans up to the great... they can't sing that you've never won a trophy since 1995. They can't sing that anymore. You've got to go strong in these cup competitions. And Everton have done... they've got to is it 2 finals or just the one? I can't remember. They got to the one where Sahar scored against Chelsea. Is that the only final they've been to? Very close when Andy Carroll scored late on against Liverpool. I'm not saying that just to rub it in, I promise. I'm trying to think of the other like semi-finals and stuff they've got near to. I always remember the Onana penalty as well against, was it Fulham? Jogged up and kicked him out the cup. Not Daniel, love that Liverpool kit in the back, Key. Cheers, man, thank you. Terry Kelly, evening from Dublin, Key and chat. Good to see you, sir. LJ, I'm going to be honest, I want a proper right back at Everton, and Jake O'Brien is, if we're honest, a centre back. It is a surprise, though. It is a surprise that they're considering letting... Well, I don't know how if it's letting Jake O'Brien go or if it's just that he wants to go and they're kind of reluctantly saying, okay, fair enough. Hugh Maddock, I think the League Cup has become more and more competitive the last few seasons. It's a worthy trophy. Hey, listen, it gets you into Europe. Gets you into Europe. I always remember Phil Parkinson, of course, now Wrexham manager Phil Parkinson getting Bradford to a League Cup final. Beating Chelsea along the way. What a ball that is over to the left-hand side. Could Tyler Dibbling get on it? Not quite. Out to Illiman and Die. It wasn't Tyler Dibbling. Here is Illiman and Die. Here's Tyler Dibbling. Straight at the keeper. Tyler Dibbling's other side. Sorry. It looked like Tyler Dibbling for a minute there. No, Illiman and Die dancing around the edge of the box. Laid off to Tyler Dibbling. Doesn't really catch it. Very sweet. Side-footed, straight at the keeper. First chance, half chance in the game for Everton. Bradley says, no way, 1-0 to West Brom, direct free kick. Is it really? Go ahead then, we'll have a quick look. Oh, I've missed it. All right, well, never mind. Bradley says, back up Newcastle keeper's massive as well. How's he not saved that free kick? Oh, here we go. They're going to show it now. Oh, that's a great free kick. No, that is a really good free kick. Credit where it's due. Who's put that in? It's not Isaac Price. It is. It's former Evertonian Isaac Price. What a player he is, by the way. Another player who Everton maybe should have given a bit more time to. All the players Everton have had up front over the years, I'd find it very difficult to believe that players like maybe Isaac Price, Tom Cannon, Anthony Robinson, another one who got away. Where is Creed? I don't know, actually. He might be well, I'm sure he will be watching this one. He's a Preston fan, of course. Creed Van Crow, a regular in the Matchday Tavern. Big Preston fan. Billy, how's it going? Good to see you. George says, good evening all. The most delusional and most handsome Arsenal fan is back. Here he is. How you doing, George? Adam says, Northern Irishman, Isaac Price. In the box, Everton. Barry's gone out for a corner. I do think it's smart, to be fair, that Moyes has put Barry in and not Beto, because there is a real chance, isn't there, that maybe Beto isn't at the club by next week. And if you're going to give, Barry scored a really, really good goal, linked up well with Illiman and Die, scored a really good goal against Palace the other day, fantastic header. You want to give your centre forward, you want to give him options, don't you? You want to give him opportunities to score, to thrive, confidence player a little bit, Tierno Barry. I do still think there's a player in there. I know he kind of upset a few of the Evertonians last year, but I do think there is a player in there. Corner, whipped in, straight out of play. Callum says, great start. Everton, Illiman and Die gets in the way there. Barry would have scored. I mean, listen, there was strong rumours that Illiman and Die wasn't going to be at the club by the end of the transfer window. I still think he will be, by the way. Paul Heckingbottom, unbeaten in 2 previous games as a manager versus Everton. 1-1, drawn 1. 3-star says, Forest should be tempting West Brom with a 25 to 30 million bid for Isaac Price before the window shuts next week. Apparently, lots of noise that Brighton are about to bid for Millwall wide player Femi Aziz, which maybe a clue about Yankuba Minter possibly going to Liverpool. But Femi Aziz had a great year for Millwall, didn't he? Fabulous player. May be tempted by Brighton. Kingsloth Key, have you not thought of doing a tavern live from a pub for the chance of a meet-up? I haven't, mate. No, I guess we could do. We possibly could do. It'd have to be a pub with decent Wi-Fi. But yeah, we could maybe do a tavern roadshow, maybe travel up and down the country. That'd be quite a cool thing to do, wouldn't it? Guess it depends how big the tavern ever gets. If we get to a point where maybe there's a couple of thousand people in the chat. We got to that a few times last season. But obviously the channel's still only very new. We're still only a couple of months old on this new channel. So if we get to a point where we've got a couple of thousand in the chat, maybe we'll do a tavern roadshow and we'll take it up and down. I'll bring the wife. She can carry the bags. I'll bring the wife and we'll go on the road. Yeah, it'd be nice to meet a few people. We had lots of. It's really cool. It's really nice. We've had a lot of regulars who've been with me on this journey since the very, very start, like over 18 months. Part of the furniture now. You like family. LJ says, oh, sorry, I know a centre-back from Africa, young lad, left-footed, who can work very well for Forest. Who's that? It's not. Is it Mbukazi, the lad from Chicago Fire? He was fantastic in the World Cup. Adam says, love and die is a red, to be fair, but not worth what some people, silly people, think he's worth. How much would Illiman and Die be worth in this market? You'd have to say north of the 65 million that Crescencio Somerville went for. But then, is he... I mean, if Yankuba Minter's going for 80, or at least that's what Brighton are commanding for him, I don't think they'll get 80. You'd have to... that's where I would put Illiman and Die. Somewhere between the 65 that Somerville's gone for and the 80 that Minter is... Brighton are asking for Minter. That's where I would put him. If he went for 75 million, I'd say, okay, fair enough. I can kind of get on board with that. If you start getting into 100 million for a player like Illiman and Die, who is a brilliant dribbler, by the way, he's absolutely fantastic, but just end product always a little bit sketchy for me. Wonderful, very exciting player, gets, fans up off their feet. I just wonder whether or not he could make that step up if he went to another club. Welsh Ring says, Key, driving around the country trying different restaurants and going, can we get a hygiene check on this, sir? Joel says that forward for Mexico was class in the World Cup. What's his name? The forward for Mexico. Are you on about Quinones? He's not in the MLS. No, he's in Saudi, Quinones. Assuming that's who you're on about. The Cluis says, is it... Have I said it right, that? Is that the Cluis or Theo Lewis? I can't see. Either way, 3-0 Everton you're going for. Okay. King Sloth, I'll give Gary a call, see if he'll give you a 5-figure sum for your channel. Tell him I'm cheap, I'll take 4 figures. George, Key, do a Matchday Tavern Roadshow in Amsterdam. You wouldn't have to travel. Behave yourself, George. Addison, hi pal, I'm a Sheffield United fan. Come on, Everton. My score's Preston 1, Everton 3. Appreciate you coming in, Addison. Sheffield United got a good result last night at, it was at Rovers, wasn't it, in the Cup? Good to see the Blades doing a little bit better. Not a great start, not a great season last year, was it, other than under Chris Wilder? And it was Sellers, wasn't it, before that? Sellers, I think, started the season as Sheffield United manager. Chris Wilder came in, improved a little bit, but maybe not so much. Carl will do it, mate. Carl it is. Carl it is. I'll remember that. King Sloth Mora was good for Mexico. He's only 18, isn't he? Yeah, only a kid. Here's Illiman and Die down the left-hand side. Into the box. Good defending. And he's offside anyway. These are the games. These are the games where players like Illiman and Die really need to step up. This is your opportunity to come and sort of prove you're far above this level. Difficult cup competition, but it's a nice pitch. It's not, it's not bobbly. It's not difficult conditions necessarily, although it has been absolutely bouncing it down here in the northwest of England. 19-hour thunderstorms across Manchester. West Brom nearly 2-0 up against Newcastle. Nabuish, good to see you, sir. How are you? Victoria Reevy says Everton to win. And Kevin Myers listening in Toronto. Come on the Toffees. Yes. Up the Canadian Blues. I expect you'll win. I'm a Red, mate. I'm a Liverpool fan. I expect that you'll win. But I can't say I wouldn't be delighted if Preston were to nick one. Carabao's into the channel looking at a 5-figure price plus 3 pints for him too. Joe, what's your thoughts on Mark Goldbridge? I don't really have any thoughts on Mark Goldbridge, to be honest. Good luck to him. He's got a very successful business. He's built it. He's worked hard over the years. He was one of the first in. And he's done well. Credit to him. Some people like his stuff, others don't. But no, he seems like a... Well, I don't know. I don't know if he is a nice guy or not. I've no idea. But very good at whatever he does. Fair play to him. Welsh, are you going live later for the draw key? Well, I'll just stay on. Yeah, I'll just stay on. We'll do the draw for the next round, which I believe is straight after this game anyway. So as soon as this finishes, yes, we will stay on for the draw and we'll see who everybody gets. Joe, he robbed my nan's bike back in the day. Mark Goldbridge. Yeah, but I've seen the video he did on that, mate. He said your nan had it coming, to be fair. Billy, I don't understand why people just hate for the sake of hate without actually knowing someone. I mean, to be fair, people have got a lot going on in their lives. Sometimes, they put all of their lives' frustration onto one person, and even if they don't deserve it. You want to see the stuff I get, and I'm a 20th of the size of Mark Goldbridge, channel wise, probably a little bit bigger in person, but yeah, channel wise, Christ, I don't know how he deals with it. What a ball! Tierno Barry's in, should be 1-0 Everton. That's not good enough. That's really not good enough, Barry. 1-on-1 with the keeper. That's where you'd expect to see real confidence from Barry, and he scuffs it straight at the keeper. That is not good enough. That's where you need to see a little bit more composure, a little bit more confidence from a £30 million striker. That's the sort of thing that Evertonians are starting to doubt Tierno Barry when he gets into those positions. He's still a young lad, and you've got to give him time, but needs to do better there. Blur, Liverpool are moving mad this window. We're not moving at all, mate. Welsh wing, I want Chelsea v United, Liverpool v United. More big teams out, I say. What, we both get United? 3-way. Triple threat. Long ball over the top. Barry can't quite make it through all the way to the keeper. Welsh, what do you think of Fernandes going to City, Key? I guess it remains to be seen on price, doesn't it? I think if he goes to City, then all of a sudden they look with Enzo, with Elliot Anderson and Buadi. That's a very, very good midfield three. But I do then wonder what that means for Cherky and Foden. Because you can't have Cherky or Foden are then going to have to be pushed into one of the wide areas, aren't they? You're going to expect Foden maybe to play off the right or Cherky to play off the right. And I don't think that's either of their best position, to be honest. So I suspect if they do sign Enzo Fernandez, that it will mean the end of Foden or Cherky at City. And I expect that's Cherky, which is mad considering he was in the team of the year last year. We've obviously seen this week the noise that came out of Manchester City about, there was the documentary, wasn't there, where they talked about signing Cherky and they'd had bad reports from his former coaches and stuff. They'd had some bad reports about him as a personality, his attitude, a little bit questionable, a little bit reckless. I just wonder whether or not that's reared its head, maybe. Billy making a grand entrance and everything. Oh, what's that? Sorry. Zanmato, Key, thoughts on Arsenal? 4 Premier Leagues, Liverpool 2 Premier Leagues, and we had 22 years off. Isn't that a little bit embarrassing, fella? That's not embarrassing for me. I had nothing to do with it. It's not embarrassing for me. And again, it depends how you look at it. You could say Arsenal have had 100 and however many years and not a European Cup. Chelsea have got 2, and they've only existed for about 25 years, haven't they, to be fair? So, depends. Swings and roundabouts. Joe Key, is this game worth watching, or should I watch the Newcastle game? You watch whatever you want, mate. I'm watching this one. I think Newcastle, obviously 2-0 down against West Brom, does make for an entertaining game. Newcastle have got to try and turn that round. But no, Everton have been dominant here. Preston just kind of hanging on a little bit. I think maybe already playing for penalties a little bit here, Preston. Addison says, I want Sheffield United v Chelsea at Bramall Lane and Liverpool v Everton in the FL Cup. Love that. Phoenix, would you rather score 1 career goal and be remembered, or score 100 but not be remembered? Score 100 but not be remembered. Dibbling. Oh, skies it. Again, more composure needed from Everton. Ball comes all the way over to Tyler Dibbling. Chests it down. He's been a little bit better, hasn't he? A little bit brighter in pre-season, Tyler Dibbling. A lot of Evertonians have been telling me, Key, we paid 42 million for him last summer. David Moyes maybe didn't use Tyler Dibbling quite as much as Evertonians expected, quite as much as Tyler Dibbling maybe expected when he arrived at Everton from Southampton. There was, rumours about homesickness and all that sort of stuff that has, I think, plagued him before, of course, wasn't he, at Chelsea? He went to Chelsea and didn't end up settling in London, so ended up moving back to Southampton. And then, obviously, he's moved up north to Everton. And, maybe. You never know how a player settles. That can have a big, big impact on their ability to perform. But, he's been up there a year now. He's been up here a year now. I still think there is a player in Tyler Dibbling. I remember watching him last season season before for Southampton, thinking, yeah, this kid's got ability, he has got talent, he just needs to maybe apply himself. Good ball in from Preston. Mikolenko shoved off the ball. Here's Illiman and Dye, loses it far too cheaply. Thierry Small, he loses it even cheaper. Well done by Illiman and Dye to win it back. Kingsloth, Key, can you find out the first draw results for home or away? I can't, mate. I have no idea what's going on just yet. Welch, what do you think of the Alvarez situation, Key? What do I think of the Alvarez situation? Feels like a negotiation's going on. I think Alvarez will have told Atletico Madrid, I don't want to play for you again. And I won't be able to produce my best stuff this season if you do keep me. So Atletico Madrid, to some extent, have got a player whose value is just declining. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident Alvarez will leave before the end of the window. Question is, how strong is Atletico Madrid's resolve? I suspect privately they'll have had discussions and said, we need to move him on and get as much as we can for him. And we don't want to sell him to Barcelona if at all possible. So if we can try and convince him that Arsenal is his only route out of Madrid, then maybe that's the option he takes. But I suspect him and Barcelona have got in a room and gone, listen, if we bide our time and we just stay patient, eventually they'll panic. Michael Keane with a shot from 35 yards out, comfortably wide, but he's done it before, hasn't he, Michael Keane? He's always good for a long ranger. He's done it before. Gamer G, I'm now a tavern member. Yes, G, love that. Sarah says the owner wants him to stay, Key. I mean, listen, of course they want him to stay. They would want him to want to stay. That's the bigger thing. You can't keep an unhappy player at the football club. I don't care what anyone says. Once a player has decided, I am going. Yes, Adam. Love that, mate. Thank you. Once a player has decided, I'm going, there's not a whole lot more you can do about it. There you go. 2-1 now for Newcastle. Who scored it? Is it Toure? It is. Bazumana Toure scored to make it 1-1. Newcastle 1, West Brom 1. Back in it in the cup. Yeah, I think with Arsenal, they want to make a big statement signing, but I just don't see it happening. And let's be honest, he's made it very clear that he doesn't want to go to Arsenal. He wants to go to Barca. And how much would you want that at your club? I would hate that. I would absolutely hate if Liverpool paid massive money, a record fee, for a player to come to my club and it was immediately obvious he just didn't want to be there. He wanted to be at Barcelona. You don't want that. Here's Dewsbury Hall. What a ball that is. Must be 1-1. Barry, great goal. Now, that is a really, really good goal from Everton. It is an exceptional goal. Great movement, but it all comes from Dewsbury Hall and the run off the back from Mykolenko. That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal. Astonishing. Dewsbury Hall lifts it over the top. He's onside, Mykolenko. Really, really wonderful run off the back of the fullback. Plays it in. Nice pass. And Tierno Barry with a tap in. 1-0. There you go. Fast start from Everton. They've been totally dominant in this game. Barry's already missed a sitter. But credit where it's due. You've got to, Dewsbury Hall's been a real top signing for Everton, hasn't he? He's been a really, really good acquisition for him. And there you go. Barry, back-to-back now goals for Tierno Barry. Welsh wing, Dewsbury Hall is Everton's best player by a mile. I like him. He's so neat and tidy on the ball, and it might well be that they don't, maybe because Grealish is now going to cost a fortune in wages and whatever, it actually might make more sense to just Tyrick George, Diblin. You've got Brennan Johnson now. Illiman and Dye. You've got your wings covered kind of thing. Dewsbury Hall and Harrison Armstrong as your two kind of number 10s. Charlie Alcaraz is in there as well, of course. So, yeah, I actually don't think they go and sign another player. I don't think Jack Grealish comes in now for Everton. I think they desperately need a right back. There's no doubt about that. Barry's in again. He's in again. If he can reach it. Out for a throw-in on the far side. Good tackle. Callum says, let's be real, Beto would have scuffed that. Yeah, but I think Beto would have scored the first one. I think Beto's a better finisher than Barry. But Barry's just a lot younger. He's still a bit naive in front of goal. Sometimes loses his composure a bit. But there is a player in there. He's big, he's strong, very, athletic. Has got a little bit of pace. Can finish, just maybe not the most natural finisher. But he will get chances, Tierno Barry. He needs to work on his movement a little bit as well. There's sometimes you'll see him get caught offside maybe a bit too frequently, or maybe doesn't make the run too soon, or just a couple of things, little things that maybe if he had Duncan Ferguson working with him, or another striker coach at Everton. Good effort from the edge of the box from Everton. Preston get it away. They've got to now get back into this one. Good football. Adam says Barry is a better Nunes. No, he's not better than Darwin Nunes. But he's a similar type of player. Very athletic, but just occasionally has brain farts in front of goal. Good ball over the top. Good defending that from Tarkowski. Welsh wing, would you like Kiernan Dewsbury Hall at Liverpool, Key? No, I think, to be honest, mate, our problem is we've got too many number 10s. So I think Kiernan Dewsbury Hall would be, swamped at Liverpool. We've got Soberslai, we've got Wirtz, we've got Gravenberch, who's a number 10 to some extent in how he plays. He's not, we've had him as a number 6, but it doesn't quite work out. We need Garner more than we need Dewsbury Hall. I'd love pinch Jimmy Garner off Everton, but I don't see it happening. Callum says he's 10 times the player better, is Barry. Yeah, you wouldn't have said that last season, would you? You wouldn't have said that at all. You were kicking off. I remember you last season, Callum, after that Arsenal stuff with Barry. I remember you kicking off about him. Patrick Roberts, Everton 1, come on the Blues. And Chelsea should get Big Duncan as a striker coach, in my opinion. Yeah, don't see why not. Can't hurt. I'm sure if you said to Duncan Ferguson any chance you'll come back and help the club, he'd be delighted. But yeah, Everton, totally dominant here. Started the game well. It's very comfortable for Everton so far. Got to wonder how Preston are even going to get themselves back in the Everton half, to be honest, because they can't keep hold of the ball. It's a very poor performance so far from Paul Heckingbottom's side. Great play by Dibbling down this right-hand side. Everton fans will want to see more of that this season. Little 1-2s. Steps inside. Got to find the right pass. Here's Dewsbury Hall. Into Barry. Wonderful play back. Oh, claim for a penalty. Nah, he's not giving it, the referee there. He's not giving it. 2-0 now for Spurs. Solanke. Welsh wing will never forget Nunes had an open net at United 2 seasons ago and complained for the pen instead of just passing the ball in. Oh, he did that about 20 times a season, him. Pete, what do you think of the Sarr links, Key? Ismaila Sarr to Liverpool. What do I think? I like him. I like him as a player, but I'm not sure he's a Liverpool player. It reminds me a lot of when we signed like Stuart Downing. It feels like that era of Liverpool, like Brendan Rodgers era. We're going out and like Benteke. We signed Benteke. It felt like, because he scored loads against us. Every time he played us for Villa, he always scored. And it felt, I'll tell you what, Dewsbury Hall just fell flat over himself there, didn't he? He didn't get kicked at all. I don't know why I claimed penalty. There was no one near him. Michael, are the draws done yet? They're not done yet. No, they're after this game. But yeah, no, I do like Ismaila Sarr. I'm just not sure that he's 50 million quid's worth. Obviously, they've immediately rejected it anyway, Palace. So you'd have to say Liverpool are going to have to pay closer to 60, 70 million to get Ismaila Sarr out of Palace. And he's 29 this season. I think that's a really, really poor use of funds. If we go and get Ismaila Sarr for 60, 70 million at 29, I'd be disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Hey, here is Creed. Here he is. We've been talking about you, mate. I'm surprised your ears haven't been burning. It's not a great night for the both ends, but it is going to be a throw-in opportunity for him to launch the ball long into the box. Vukcevic is going to take it. Long throw. He's got Bergzorg, Irabi all over that side. Vukcevic, straight out of play. Terrible. Absolutely shocking. Long throw into the box. Got headed back out to him. Played back to feet and he somehow lets it go out of play. Throw into Everton. Terrible. It's not a great season so far. No, that's the understatement of the century, isn't it, really? The understatement of the century. Yeah, you were 14th last year, of course. And 20th the year before that. 10th the year before that. So it's been a real mixed few years as a both ends fan. 10th, 20th, 14th. But even last season, you were 14th, but actually, for a while there, going towards the end of the season, there was still an outside chance of Preston making the playoffs, because I think you only won one and lost your last 3 games, didn't you? Won 1, lost 3 in your last 4. So Preston had a very, very poor end to the season that kind of kiboshed any hopes of maybe challenging for the playoffs. And it dragged them right down to 14th. Very disappointing end to the season. And they started the season equally poorly, if we're being dead honest. Back-to-back defeats against Bolton at the Tough Sheets Stadium and at home to Wolves here at the weekend. Oh, I've not turned the chat on. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. Oh, I can't believe we're 35 minutes into the game. I've not even put the chat on. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Absolute nightmare. Right, there you go. The chat is now rapidly on and will fix itself. Sorry. Hopefully it doesn't take ages to catch up now. LJ, how many clubs in England do you think are bigger than Everton? How many clubs in England do I think are bigger than Everton? It depends, doesn't it, how you want to measure. How you want to measure success and how you want to... See, for me, a big club is defined on, like, what does it actually matter? What does it mean? It means, would a player join you over another? And I think if you were a player and you got offered the opportunity to go to Everton or Villa, you'd choose Villa. I don't know if Evertonians would disagree with... If you were a player right now, let's say you had no attachment to either club, I think you'd probably choose Villa, wouldn't you? If you were a player with no attachment to any club and you had Everton and Spurs, I think maybe you'd choose Spurs as a club. Obviously, they've won the Europa League recently. They've spent massively, shown a lot of ambition in the transfer window this year. You'd probably edge Spurs, even though Everton historically bigger club, trophies. So there's some kind of questionable ones. If it was Everton or say Newcastle, again, if you were a player, you looked at Everton or Newcastle, you might say, well, Everton certainly bigger historically in terms of trophies, but Newcastle competed in the Champions League quite a bit recently, won a League Cup recently. Ambitious owners in terms of investing in the new stadium. They're investing in players. I don't know. That one may be a flip of a coin. It's tough. It's all very subjective. Ryan says, who do you think's a more attractive option right now between Villa and Newcastle? That's Villa. Yeah, for the same reason. Ben, did you see that Hearts won on pens? I didn't. No. Won on pens against who? In the Scottish Cup? City of Northfield, Everton should probably be 6th historically. If you're just looking at history, I do think recency matters though, doesn't it? That's why, Chelsea, Manchester City, historically not massive clubs, but actually they've won European Cups and league titles in the last kind of 10 years or whatever. So you do kind of have to start thinking about that stuff, because it would matter to players, wouldn't it? JN, Arsenal winning the league, mate. I couldn't agree more. I absolutely agree with you, mate. Absolutely agree. Pete, Everton or Bournemouth? Oh, Jesus Christ. See, that's where it then gets difficult. Everton, Bournemouth. Everton, Sunderland. If you're a player and you've got a straight choice between those two, you might think, well, Bournemouth, Sunderland, they're in Europe this year, but actually, Everton, much bigger clubs. So I don't know. I guess that would be a flip of a coin. I would probably err more on Everton on that side. George says, Key, what's this about English teams in Europe being in another pot for the EFL Cup? They always have been. They always have been in another pot. I'm sure they have. That's always been the case, hasn't it? Long ball forward. Oh, no. Absolutely shocking play. Oh, Merlin Rolls had an absolute nightmare there for Everton. It was very, very nearly an equaliser for Preston. Long ball forward. Merlin Roll takes his eye off the ball for a split second there. And what should have been a very easy clearance just slipped under his foot. And Preston were in the box. And it was a pretty poor effort in the end. Skied over the bar. Bergzor got in behind. And it was skied by Leroy. Creed, new stadium boosts that appeal a bit. It does, yeah. And Everton Stadium's it's right down by the docks. It's a cool stadium. It shows ambition. But the ambition now, and this is why I feel like Evertonians, a lot of Evertonians I speak to, and certainly the Blues I've got in my family, are very agitated, let's call it, about, we've got these new owners, the Friedkin Group, they've come in. We want to see him showing ambition. They've got this, marvellous new stadium now, state of the art. You want to see him now kicking on and showing ambition on the pitch to get Everton in Europe, back in Europe. It feels like such a long time since Everton have been in Europe. It's well over a decade now, isn't it, since Everton were in Europe? When was the last time Everton were in Europe? When Lukaku was there, wasn't it? Can anyone tell me? Let's have a look. Everton FC in European football. 2017-18 it was, so not quite 10 years. Yeah, not quite 10 years. They finished third in a group of Lyon, Apollon Limassol and Atalanta. Oh, of course, wasn't that when the Lyon game, wasn't it? That was when the lad with the kid in his arms and he was punching the player or whatever. I do remember that. Troy, when is the EFL Cup draw? It's after this game, mate. Straight after this game, the EFL Cup draw, you can see who, I'm sure Everton will qualify. We can see who Everton are going to get in the next round. Although we say we think Everton are going to qualify, if Merlin Roll keeps doing what he just did, he might not do. They might flop it, one of the two. Anton, that Mikey Moore goal. Yes, I've heard good things. Apparently the Mikey Moore goal was very good. Didn't have a great game the other day, though, did he, Mikey Moore, against Brentford? Leon says, seen Alisson could be out again. Just seen a post. He's out till November international break with a hamstring. Oh, don't wind me up. Don't wind me up with that. Please don't wind me up with that. Alisson's out. Oh, please don't. If Alisson Becker is actually out injured, we are really in. Oh, Alisson Becker reportedly out injured again. Oh no, it's been deleted. Yeah, it was a post. It was a post on Instagram, but it's been deleted. So I'm guessing it's maybe just a bit of a. Yeah, I don't think it's true. If it turned out to be true, I would be absolutely devastated. That would be gutting, properly gutting. Yeah, so I've not heard it either. Is it fake news? I mean, from what I've seen, it is fake news. From what I've seen. Get Woodman back in the sticks. Yes. We might have to. User 688. All right, Key. How are you, mate? Long ball forward. What's going on, pal? Not a lot, mate. We're watching Preston and Everton. 43 minutes in at Deepdale. Everton are 1-0 up. Completely and utterly in control. Preston yet to really lay a glove on Everton, if we're really honest. It's been a very controlled performance. I'm sure it's exactly the type of performance Moyes would have liked. No frills. There's been no chances for Preston. Tierno Barry's gone on the score sheet again, so that'll be great for his confidence. Oh, that's a brilliant run from distance and an excellent bit of defending from Preston there, just as Barry was coming onto it. But yes, Everton have been completely and utterly in charge. I don't expect that Preston I'd like to think that the second half will bring a little bit more out of Preston. Maybe Paul Heckingbottom might throw a couple of the bench players on, try and get some freshness to this side, because there's not really been a lot of quality in the final third when they have been able to get on the ball. Dignity, it all takes time. Look at Arsenal after their new stadium. No, that's true. Yeah, I know. I get it. It does take time for sure. But, I mean, you could argue. I mean, didn't Arsenal moved into their new stadium? And how long was it until they won the FA Cup? Was it 2006, 2007? Yeah, 2006. So they moved in 2006. And I think I'm right in saying, when was it they won? FA Cup was 2013-14, and they've not won the EFL Cup for ages, have they? No, fair enough. No, you're right. You're absolutely right with Arsenal. I don't know where I got that from. I thought they'd won it. They won the FA Cup 2004-05, but it was the year after they moved to the Emirates. I stand corrected. 1 minute of added on time. User 688, what was you chatting about then? Just caught the end of it. I don't know. We move on that quickly, I've no idea. Creed, I'm starting to agree, would kill for Alex Neil to come back. A massive portion of North End fans wanted Heckingbottom gone after those last 12 or so games last season. Just anyone come in and do something. Out to the right-hand side. Preston driving forward with Thierry Small. Terrible ball. Great touch though, far post. Preston still going. Here's Merlin Roll. Too easy that, and Mikalenko nods it back. Football talk, it's an old story on Alisson. Old story resurfaced again today, but it's false. And Pete says, if Alisson was out, get your boots key, you're in. Joking, you wouldn't want me in net. I only went in net once when I was a kid, and we conceded 7 by half time. I was only a short arse. Kept lobbing me. Bang out of order. Right. Half time in this one, and it is 1-0 Everton. Quite comfortable. Moyes will be happy. Might make some changes second half. Maybe Everton fans will see someone like Asnu maybe coming on. Maybe Tyreek George. Evil Saka getting his opportunity. Maybe Brennan Johnson. Maybe Moyes will make some changes. But they can't rest just yet because it isn't dead and buried. Welsh says, halftime quiz, A to Z of Everton appearances in the Premier League. Love that. Here we go, halftime quiz. Let me just get that up on the screen. Welsh Wings, wonderful halftime quiz. Is the A to Z of Everton players with most Premier League appearances. For Everton, right? Is it for Everton? Let's say that. Let's just explain that and clarify that, Welsh. Okay. A to Z of players with the most appearances for Everton. P is Pickford. Right. Come on, Key. A to Z. Let me just sort this out. A. I'm going to impress you with my alphabet knowledge now. N-O-P-Q-R-S-T-U-V-W-X-Y-Z. P is Pickford. Always Osman, surely. Yeah, P for Pickford. O for Osman. I would imagine F is Ferguson. C is Coleman, of course. Maybe B for Baines. B for Baines. S for Southall, possibly. J for Jagielka. Okay, nice answer. Well done. There is no Q. There's never been a Q for Everton. Okay. Hey, quite literally never been a Q for Everton. I'm only playing. Leon Osman, Sahar, J for Jagielka, Tim Cahill, possibly. F for Ferguson, B for Baines. Okay, so we've got Baines, we've got Coleman, F for Ferguson. What about U for Unsworth? U's got to be Unsy. Unsworth. H for Howard, Tim Howard. Be astonished if that isn't Howard. S for Southall, yeah. Could have seen that one. K for Kilban, X for Xavier. A for Arteta. A for Arteta. X has got to be for Xavier, hasn't he? Yeah. K for Kilban's not a bad shout. I don't think there has been another X for Everton, has there? Yeah, Unsworth. H for Hibbert. Could be Hibbert, actually. Hibbert's got to have more than Howard. Yeah, that might actually be a better shout. X is Xavier. Is H Hibbert or Howard? No, you've said H for Howard. Okay, fair enough. I mean, Howard did go on a little bit longer, didn't he? I'm sure he lasted a little bit longer than Hibbert in the Everton side. Lukaku for L. Trying to think of like Everton players who played for absolutely ages for him. D for Distan, maybe. Creed got to go. Currently on the clock, managing a 3G pitch for amateur teams. Need to get him to fuck off at 9. Take it easy, mate. Dave Watson's a great shout. I reckon Watson's probably there. Yeah, Weir's not a bad shout, actually, for W as well. Morales for M. Yeah, very good shout. Wow. I'm trying to think of players like who we might have missed in that Everton side. What about V? Nuno Valenti. Nuno Valenti. W is Weir. Okay. Trying to think of Everton centre-backs now. Stubbs. Distan. Is D Distan? Yeah, Distan's there. Okay. E. Everton player in the Premier League beginning with E. The most appearances for Everton beginning with E. This is our halftime quiz, folks. If you've just joined us, we do a halftime quiz every day. When we do a game, we do a watch-along every single day, and we do a halftime quiz every single game. And the one for tonight is usually themed. Tonight is an A to Z of players with the most Premier League appearances for Everton. So far, we've got Arteta, Baines, Coleman, Distan. We haven't yet got We haven't yet got E. F for Ferguson, H for Howard, J for Jagielka, O for Osman, P for Pickford, S for Neville Southall, U for Unsworth, W for Weir, X for Xavier, Y for Yobo. Y's got to be Yobo. Yeah, Y's got to be Joseph Yobo. G for Gravison. Gravison's not a bad shout, yeah. Morales, Gravison, Yobo, Nuno Valenti. Is there a Z? Has a Z ever played for Everton? R was Rooney. Rooney? Really? I wouldn't have said that. T. This is tough, man. This is very, very tough. No Q. There was no Q. E for Emerson. Y is Yobo. Excellent. Okay, we've got Joseph Yobo. Gaza. G for Gascoigne. G, Garner Gay. Yeah, could be Garner Gay, possibly. Yeah, I would imagine Garner Gay's G. Tarkovsky. N for Neville. Of course. N for Neville. I's the tough one. Can't think of I. K, Kilban. Maybe Keane, Michael Keane. Michael Keane's been at Everton for ages now, it feels like. He could be in there. Could K be Michael Keane or maybe Kilban? M for Morales, yeah. I think Morales might be the right one. I can't think of another M. Morales was there for a while. I would imagine Morales is there. T for Tarkovsky. Well done. Skipper. Can't believe I never got that one. Y for Yakubu. No, Y is Yobo. We've got Yobo. Y is Yobo. We need an E. We need an E. I'm trying to think of a player that played for Everton, surname starting E. Tough. Can't think of a player beginning with E. V's got to be Valenti, hasn't it? I can't think of another player who has a surname starting with V. How many have we got left, Key? As far as I can tell, we've got Z, V, L, I, and E, I think. Velios. Oh, of course. Apollos Velios. Efanakoku. Efanakoku didn't play for Everton. Don't think he did, anyway. Can't be Pienaar for P. No, P is Pickford. Irabunum. Oh, of course, it could be Irabunum. Yeah, it could be Irabunum. Valente, maybe. Possibly. V for Valerie. Valerie? As in Jan Valerie. I don't think he ever played for Everton, did he? Are we on about Valente? Maybe that's a typo. I'm gonna presume it's Valente. I was Iwobi. Ah, of course, Alex Iwobi. Unforgivable, that. Ebrel. Oh, John Ebrel, yes. Yeah, he was at Everton for a good while, wasn't he? 90s. Have we got S? We have, yes. S is Binman, Neville Southall. So we're missing L. L and Z by my count. L and Z. Don't think there's a Z. Surely there's not a Z. Manolis Key, just to let you know, AEK Athens have won 3-0, Levski Sofia, and we have both got 1 foot in the Champions League phase. Yes, Manolis. Zinchenko, never played for Everton. No, never played for Everton. Zuma did. Yes. Kurt Zuma, of course. I bet it is. I bet it is Kurt Zuma. I bet it is. And Lescott is a great shout as well, Sam. Excellent. It could be Zuma and Lescott. I do think Lescott's a great shout. I can't think of another L. Lukaku. Did Lukaku have more appearances for Everton than Lescott? Possibly. I think Zuma would be, though. Lukaku. It is Zuma for Z. And then it's Lescott has got more Everton appearances than Lukaku. Great quiz, that, Welsh. Well done. Fabulous quiz. Really enjoyed that. Right, well, there you go. That is the halftime quiz, courtesy of Welshwing. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe. Show you appreciation. I'm talking broken biscuits. Yeah, listen, really appreciate you. The quiz, as usual, Welshwing. Just to go through those answers again. A to Z of Premier League players with the most appearances for Everton. So, A was Mikel Arteta. B, Leighton Baines. What a left-back he was. C, Seamus Coleman. Value for money. Sylvain Distan. D. Ebrel was E. Ferguson. Big Dunk. Duncan Disorderly is F. G for Tommy Gravison. He could start a fight in an empty room as well, couldn't he? H was Tim Howard. I was Alex Iwobi. J for Jagielka. Scored that worldie at the Kop end. K for Michael Keane, who scored a fair few worldies as well for Everton. L for Lescott, M for Kevin Morales, N for Phil Neville, the handsome Neville, O for Leon Osman, P for Pickford. No Q. There's never been a Q who's played for Everton, allegedly. Wayne Rooney was R. Neville Southall, S. Captain James Tarkovsky is T. U. David Unsworth. What a player he was as well. Always liked Unsworth. Nuno Valente is V. David Weir was W. X for Liverpool legend Abel Xavier. He was garbage, wasn't he? Y is Joseph Yobo. And Kurt Zuma is Z. Kurt Zuma. Rest. Oh, what a strike that was from Mikey Moore, actually. Yeah. Avoid cats. Kurt Zuma. Great quiz. Oh, Adam. Adam's joined the members club. Yay, Adam's in the Tavern members club. Fantastic. Love that. Really appreciate your support, Adam. Lots of members joining in the last couple of days. Really appreciate you. Lots of members-only benefits coming your way as well. Got loads of content planned for over the next 9-10 months of the season, whatever it is, for members only. So you'll get value for money, I assure you. Pete says Z-Cars play for Everton more than the cat kicker. And evening, key lad. How's it going, Alex? How are you, sir? But yes, really enjoyed that quiz. Thank you. Always does a good quiz, Welsh. Adam, I watch on TikTok, but my pleasure to join the team on YouTube, lad. Good lad. You watch where you feel most comfortable, mate, but I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that, for showing the support for the channel. Really, really is appreciated. Everyone that's in every night regularly watching the games with us, building this great community of football fans. I am very, very lucky to get to watch football matches with you guys. Tierno Barry is coming out for the second half. I thought there might be some changes at the top end, but it doesn't look as yet that Moyes is going to. Thought he may be tempted to bring on maybe Tyrick George, maybe Adam Asnu. Give Adam Asnu the second half. A lot of Evertonians pushing for Adam Asnu to get more minutes, but seems like Moyes just isn't convinced. But he's never been particularly... I wouldn't go as far as saying he's not been fond of young players, but it always feels like he's a little bit averse to giving young players a platform, a try, unless he absolutely has to. But I do like David Moyes. I do think Everton would do well to keep him. I think they should keep him, but something tells me that he won't finish the season as Everton manager. I just feel like there's that growing murmur of discontent inside the Everton fan base. Hey, Mercury's in the Tavern fan club as well. Love that. Mercury's in the Taverners. Love that. Really appreciate that, mate. Thank you again for all the love. Much, much appreciated. Here's Barry, comfortably wide. Long distance strike. Don't think long distance shot to your game, to be honest. Tierno. Mercury, about time you got this thing running, brother. I know, mate, it took some time, but we've got there in the end. I only switched them on last night, I think. Was it last night? Yeah, so I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you all. Alex, Tierno Barry looks really good this season. He looks a bit more confident, doesn't he? Yeah, he does look like he's put down the bag of bricks that was on his back last season. He felt like he was walking around with the weight of the world on his shoulders at times, and just maybe feels like he's had maybe a chat behind the scenes. Oh, Preston are in. Hit it, lad. Hit it. Oh, good defending. Really good defending. Bergzorg, he is giving the fans just a little bit of a G up there, hoping to get the crowd up for this a little bit more, but that was a big, big moment in the game. Bergzorg chops inside. Michael Keane, and good block from the skipper, James Tarkovsky. Everton now on the counter-attack, 3-on-2. Dewsbury Hall, good strike, good save. Excellent save yet again. Just a reminder, we're live tomorrow for two. Well, we've got two lives. We're going to be doing the Champions League draw at 5 o'clock tomorrow. It's 5 till 6 that it's on, so it probably will be about an hour that it's on. And we've also got Brighton's second leg in the Conference League. They play Tromsø. They did play them in the first leg in Norway, and it was a particularly poor game. Finished 0-0. Brighton have got it all to do in that second leg back at the Amex tomorrow night. So 2 games tomorrow. Brighton in Europe. See how they get on. And before that, we'll see the Champions League draw. Illiman and Dye strike quite comfortably through to the keeper. Dignity, we watch because you present football to football fans as we like it. Keep it up, my man. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you so much. Very nice of you to say, Dignity. All the way back to Pickford. Everton's goalkeeper could have set up a deck chair, to be honest, in this game. He's had very little to do. City of Northfield, Brighton will batter them in the second leg. I think so too. I think they probably will batter them, but remains to be seen because the first leg they weren't brilliant, were they, Brighton? I know they played well against Villa at the weekend, but yeah, they've got to put in a big performance tomorrow and maybe stick 2 or 3 past Tromsø. Last thing you want is what happened to Celtic last night. Up the tavern, that was me, Keith. Prefer the setup on TikTok. Hey, no worries, Adam. No worries. I totally appreciate it wherever you enjoy it best, buddy. Have you got your water, key? I have indeed, lovely, yes. I'm all stocked up and hydrated. Preston pressing forward. Good ball into the box. And 3 stars on board as well. There you go. Love that. Fantastic news. 3-star, part of the mod team. Top fella. Looks after his old girl as well. Very nice man. Very nice bloke. Welcome to the members club. Absolutely. Lucky number 7. Dignity, I'm at the Brighton game tomorrow night. Should be fine. Fully expected to go through. Oh, yeah, it would be a shock, wouldn't it? Be a huge shock if Brighton went out. I don't think they will. I'm just saying they can't take the foot off the pedal, can they? They've got to go into that game as strong as they did the Villa one. The away game in Norway was a little bit flat. Probably as much to do with the pitch as well. It wasn't a great pitch in Norway. Claim for a penalty, half a claim for a penalty there from Everton. Don't think it was one. Bit of a tangle between Tierno Barry and the Preston defender, and Everton have got a corner. But yeah, no, I agree. I think Brighton will go through. They'll go through quite comfortably. Get this man a plaque. Hey, hopefully we'll have one before long, mate. I'm sure. Give us a couple of years. Mikalenko, 30 yards out, straight into the stand. I think that's the Bill Shankly stand, isn't it, as well, there behind that goal? The Bill Shankly stand at Preston, I'm sure it is. Catherine Key, what is the best comeback you have seen live? The best comeback that I've seen live? I don't know. I'm trying to think of the best game that I've seen live where we turned it round. I'll be honest, the big ones, obviously, that stand out, like Istanbul and them ones, I didn't go. I wasn't in Istanbul. We've been on the receiving end of some comebacks. Unfortunately, a lot of the games I've been to, we've been like, I remember going to Seville. I was in Seville. We watched Liverpool Sevilla in the Champions League. We were 3-0 up, and they ended up coming back and drawing 3-3. That's probably the best comeback that I've been to, and it wasn't even a one for Liverpool, to be honest. Mike says, seriously, who are LFC going to end up with at right wing? I couldn't tell you. We're on to our 5th or 6th option at this point. It's terrible. Rasta, how's it going, Rasta? Everton down the left-hand side with Mykolenko. Not long up the touchline. Good flick on. Preston win it back. Game's a little bit disjointed in the sense that Everton can't quite get the foot on the ball as they did in the first half, but maybe here's Illiman and Dye jogging forward, plays it out to Barry on the left-hand side. Seems to be maybe a calmness about Everton now in this second half, a bit more composure, and Preston really aren't pressing him at all. It's quite calm. Everton just maybe searching for that second goal, but not really flying at Preston to get it. Both teams, seems a little bit of a chess match at this point. Preston not wanting to concede too much space, trying to hit Everton over the top, but not really having the pace to hit them over the top. Adam says, mine was the Norwich game. I was there under Klopp, Lallana. What a game. Oh, of course, yeah. That was a good one. I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head who would be the best. What would be the best Liverpool game that I've been to where we came back and won? I don't think we ever had where we were more than 2 down. Or even just 2 down. I can remember us being a goal down and coming back and winning it. That happened a few times. I think we did. Did we against Milan? Didn't we win against Milan? I think they were in front against AC Milan at Anfield. I remember that. Jordan Henderson scored the winner. I think it was 3-2. I'm sure Rafa Leao scored as well. Yeah, we were 2-1 down against Milan and we ended up winning 3-2. That might be up there. That was a few years ago. I remember that. I was in the Anfield Road end. Dortmund Europa League. Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't at that game, but I do remember that was a fabulous comeback. Everton push forward through Michael Keane. Here's Illiman and Dye. Over to the left for Mykolenko. Mykolenko back out to Ndai. He's been very busy tonight. Mykolenko's got forward quite well as well. Back to Harrison Armstrong, back on his old stomping ground. Good switch of play over to the right for Merlin Roll. Merlin Roll needs a big season, doesn't he? I mean, does he? It depends whether or not Everton see him as the right back this season. You would hope that I think to be honest, there'll be a riot, won't there? There'll be a riot at the Hill Dicko if Everton finish the summer window without a right back and Merlin Roll is still their right back going into September. It would be mad. Dewsbury Hall, strike, good bit of football. Illiman and Dye to recycle it. Back out to Dewsbury Hall. Garner, miles wide, comfortably wide that time. Mike, I'm from Kent, but lived all over at various times. Well, lucky you, mate, if you were at that game. Fantastic. Lucky you. I've been to lots of good games over the years, but I've never been to the, unfortunately, the biggest ones in terms of, Barcelona at Anfield. I didn't go that one. I didn't go to Istanbul. I wasn't so blessed with those ones. All the ones I've been to some good games, don't get me wrong, but I've been on the receiving end of really bad results as well. I remember the John Arna-Risa own goal against Chelsea in the Champions League semi-final. I was there for that. I was there when John O'Shea scored in the 94th minute at the Kop end to win it 1-0 for United. That was horrible. Good ball in and easy claim for Preston's goalkeeper that time. Make Slithering great again. I thought Roll was a midfielder. He is, yeah. Merlin Roll is a midfielder. But he's having to deputise at right back for Everton because they don't have a right back, really. I mean, they've got Patterson, who David Moyes called Craig Patterson. They've got Jake O'Brien, who's a centre-back, who has been playing at right back all last season. I think he's maybe let it known to Moyes that he wants to be a centre-back. and maybe Moyes has had a conversation with him and said, look, I don't really consider you a centre-back ahead of Tarkowski or Branthwaite. And he started Michael Keane over him at centre-back tonight, which maybe tells you a lot more about the situation. Jake O'Brien, I thought, did really well for Everton at right-back last season, but he is a centre-back, isn't he? And there's a lot of Evertonians who've been very disappointed by the idea that he's going to be going. Shell says we have Pato, he's our only right back. Yep, Nathan Patterson, the only one. The only one. Craig Patterson, as Moyes called him. 3-0 now to Spurs. Strike, good save, Barry. Oh, there you go. It's 2. Everton. And there you go. Do you know what? That's exactly where you want your centre forward to be. 2-0 to Everton. Lovely play down the left-hand side from Illiman Ndiaye. Slipped into Dewsbury Hall. He has a shot. Hits the keeper. Well, keeper makes a save. Pushes it right back out into the danger area. And it kind of hits Tierno Barry. I don't know if he actually deliberately knocks this into the net. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. Either way, he's got 2 goals. It's 3 in his last 2. That's exactly the sort of form you want your centre-forward to be in for Everton this season. Illiman Ndiaye, good football, into Dewsbury Hall, good strike. Now, do you know what? Credit where it's due. He does. He adjusts his body. I didn't see on the first one. I thought it might have just hit his foot. But no, he adjusts his body, and he does well there to get it in. 2-0. See if it's slowed down here. Maybe we'll see a bit better. Lovely little ball in. Dewsbury Hall takes it well. Swivel shot. Keeper pushes it out. And yeah, Barry just tries to get something on it. Kind of shins it in, but he still gets something on it. And that's it. Right place, right time. Beto's gone, lad. Beto's not coming back. I still think Everton might get a centre forward. I really thought you were going to go for Delap. I was quite confident that Everton had signed Delap, but allegedly, obviously, now he's gone to Forest. Dignity, are you doing the draw for the next round? I will be, yes. We'll be live for the draw for the next round immediately after this game. So as soon as this one finishes, Alfie Devine's just come on. Ex-Spurs, Alfie Devine on for Preston. Thierry Small off. Irabi off. Neither of them have done much tonight. McCann and Lang have come on. I think there's a third sub who's gone off now for Preston and a fourth maybe as well. Preston have rang the changes. Reece says, crap goal that. Listen, they all count. They all count. Yeah, Bergsorg and Leroy off for Clark and Alfie Devine. Might be a bit too little too late for Preston, to be honest. Shell says, need to get a striker. Yes. Any in particular that you think would suit Everton? City of North Hill says, Xerxes way cheaper than Delap with similar stats. Similar? 5 in 53 games. I'm not sure about that. I think Delap at Ipswich was much better than Xerxes, but then again, I do rate Xerxes. I think he's a good player, but I'm not sure that's an Everton signing. I wonder if Everton might be tempted to go in for a more experienced centre forward. You know, someone who's maybe a bit more accepting of Tierno Barry starting ahead of him. No, not someone who's necessarily going to immediately command a starting spot, but someone who can come in and deputise for Tierno Barry every so often. Like, honestly, Ollie Watkins in many ways would have been a really good signing for Everton, but obviously he's going to Saudi. Do you wonder whether they might be tempted to go and get someone like an Ivan Toney? Oh, Preston, what the hell is going on there for Everton at the back? Oh, Everton just about scramble it away. Who was that? Was that Tarkowski? Didn't cover himself in glory there at all, did he, Tarkowski? That wasn't very smart at all. And all of a sudden, it opened up for Preston and Lang was in. And for a moment there, it looked like he would get a chance. But luckily for Everton, Michael Keane got back and closed the door. But Tarkowski, Merlin Roll at different points tonight haven't been that convincing in defence. You wonder if maybe a more competent attack might have put Everton to the sword tonight with a couple of those chances. Craig Patterson's about to come on at right back for Everton, as Moyes called him. He's coming on for... Well, no, James Garner is going off and Brennan Johnson comes on. Tyler Diblin has come off for Nathan Patterson. So Nathan Patterson to right back. Brennan Johnson's going to come on and Diblin and Garner off. So I would imagine that means that Merlin Roll moves up into midfield. Maybe a more advanced role for him. Maybe Dewsbury Hall goes out to the right, possibly. He's still quite deep at the minute, Dewsbury Hall. Who's that on the right-hand side for Everton? No, Brennan Johnson. Sorry. No, it is. It's Brennan Johnson, Illiman and Dye and Tierno Barry as the front three for Everton. Dewsbury Hall in the 10. Merlin Roll's now going to sit where Garner was. Merlin Roll and Harrison Armstrong still on. Mike says Josh Sargent could do a job at the Toffees. Richie as well, yeah. Maybe Richarlison. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one that I think a lot of Evertonians would get behind. Bringing Richie back. Hey, maybe Quinones. We talked about Quinones earlier at the World Cup. He had a great World Cup for Mexico. Could he still do a job? In many ways, I actually think, and I know this is a... Oh, what a strike! Oh, edge of the box, Pickford, overhead kick, and a wonderful, wonderful effort from Preston. It was quite comfortable for Pickford in the end. Preston now just starting to pick up a bit of pace since that. Those changes, those subs have rattled them a little bit. They've woke up, and good effort, overhead kick from Lang again, who's been bright since he's come on. It was straight at Pickford. It was a weird save, to be honest, from Pickford, but very nearly one back for both ends. Chiesa, yeah, Everton can take Chiesa. I think the last thing they need is another injury-prone attacker. Score is Preston 0, Everton 2. The draw is coming up after this, folks. The draw will be immediately after this. Dignity, is that right that Jackson has gone to Villa? Allegedly so, yeah. Apparently Nicholas Jackson very close to joining Villa. Joel Ordonez was also set to join Palace today, but they've pulled the plug on that one. Concerns over his injury. But yeah, Richarlison to Everton may make sense if they do sell Beto. You wonder how much Spurs would ask for Richarlison, maybe. Oh, unlucky. Come on, ref. Does he give a free kick? No. Good play, that. Good play from Illiman and Dye. Blocked him off. DJ Mr. B, the Newcastle game is good. Is it still 1-1? Let's have a look at the other games tonight, because I've still not looked at the scores. I've seen that we've had Newcastle 3, West Brom 2, Tottenham 3, Charlton 0, Bradford and Burnley 0-0, Preston 0, Everton 2. So this is the last game to finish as well, by the way. So it looks like maybe we could get penalties in the Bradford-Burnley game. Tottenham are sailing through against Charlton. And it looks like at this point Newcastle will be going through against West Brom. But still 8 minutes left. There might still be time for the Baggies to pinch one. City of Northfield, that timing might work out. Emery will be nice and disillusioned by the time Carrick is enjoying his new forced long vacation. Everton are in. Should be 3. Should be 3. Great tackle. Excellent tackle. Illiman and Dye should kill the game off there. Should kill the tie off. They've had some chances tonight, Everton. They definitely have. Tierno Barry scored 2, but he should have scored more. And it was a good ball over the top. Again, just wonderful link-up play. Illiman and Dye gets in behind. At that point, if you're not getting a shot away, questionable. Should kill the game off there, but a really good tackle from Preston. Credit where it's due. Illiman and Dye just wanted all the time in the world there. Fahim says, Key, if you could have one player or ex-player to take a penalty to save your life, who are you picking? Probably Matt Letizia. He only missed one, didn't he? Dennis Irwin could take a good pen. Yeah. Gerrard and Mo Salah, probably the best two. Fowler could take a pen. I don't remember Fowler missing one. I'm sure he did, but I don't remember Fowler missing one. Do you know what? If it's my life, I'll take it. I can take a pen. If it's my life on it, I'll take the pen. Dignity, I hope our luck changes. Brighton always seem to draw Arsenal early in this competition. I suspect we'll get a non-Big Six winner of this competition this year. I think we've got another Newcastle coming your way. So I don't know who. It could be Everton. It could be Brighton. It could be Brentford. In many ways, I think Brighton they'll pick their competition this year, and I think they'll go with the Conference League. I expect that Fabian Herzler will throw everything at the Conference League because it's a massive chance for them to... big chance that again. Who's that who hits it over? Dewsbury Hall should do better there. Nearly 3-0 Everton. Yeah, I think that Brighton will play their best 11 in those Conference League games, assuming they go through tomorrow against Tromsø, of course. And I think they'll do well, because they'll do kind of what Palace did last season. Palace finished, was it 15th? Yeah, Palace finished 15th and won the Conference League. I think we'll see the same with Brighton this year as well. I think we could potentially see the same with Sunderland and Bournemouth. I don't expect that they'll win the Conference League, win the Europa League, but I think we'll see the same sort of fall off from them that we saw with Forest. Like, Forest obviously did well in the Europa League, but finished wherever it was, 13th, 15th in the end last season. So they struggled, and I imagine we'll see that again. Forest did well in Europe, but had a dip in the league. Brighton, I think, will win the Conference League, but have a dip in the league because it'll be less important, because why would they need to? They'll win the Conference League. Herzler will be greeted like a returning hero, and they'll have Europe the year after. They'll have Europa League the year after. So that'll be big for Brighton. That would absolutely be progress. Scow says the draw has been announced at 10:15. Okay, so we've got another 50 minutes or so left. In the area at Everton, must be, it's 3, it's a hat-trick. It's a hat-trick for Tierno Barry. Oh, he's done the Ronaldo celebration, just as I was starting to like him. Preston 0, Everton 3, Hattie for Barry. Do you know what? Fair play to the kid. I got a lot of stick last season as a Liverpool fan, and a lot of Evertonians were telling me, no, Key, you're wrong, he's shite. I said he was going to be a good player. I still think there will be a player out of it. He's had, 2 games. He's got 4 goals in his opening 2 games. He's on a run now. All 3 of the goals he scored tonight have been tap-ins, but that's exactly what you want from your centre-forward. Getting in the right area, being in there at the right moment, arriving at the right time and sticking it in. He's had chances that he's not done brilliantly with, but he's scored a hat-trick. Credit where it's due. Wonderful play from Everton as well. Illiman and Dye, tapping. Great goal. Well done. Good play that from Everton. Really good play. It wasn't Illiman Dye. It was Brennan Johnson, actually. Credit where it's due. It was Brennan Johnson who put that cross in. I thought it was Illy. Thought it was Illy on the right. Barry's found his level, says Pete. Oh, no. Do you know what? Fair play. He has done well tonight. He's done well. Preston 0, Everton 3, 20 minutes left. Barry has arrived. Jay says, what do you rate Liverpool's transfer window out of 10? Up to now, 4. 3, maybe. Everton continue to push forward. Good play again. Barry's won it back. Good ball through. Excellent ball. Brennan Johnson. Oh, Tierno Barry's turned into James Rodriguez. It's 4 for Everton, and Brennan Johnson with the goal. Tierno Barry's got that man of the match sewn up tonight. Oh, go on, lad. I'm a Liverpool fan, but I can't help me buzzing for the kid. Because he had it shit last year, didn't he? He had a really tough time. That's a really, really good ball through. Brennan Johnson runs onto it, smashes it bottom corner. Listen, Everton will face tougher teams than Preston. I don't mean to... sorry, Creed. I know Creed's our Preston fan in the chat. I apologise, mate. Everton will face tougher teams than Preston this year. They will. But this is really good. This is a confidence booster. They needed it. Moyes will definitely be delighted with Barry tonight. Linked up well. Oh, that's a great bit of play. And he wins it back as well. He, shows the fight to win the ball back. Lifts his head up, plays a lovely pass through. And what a finish that is from Brennan Johnson as well. Excellent finish. Gets his head up. He's had a rough time as well at Palace, hasn't he? Brennan Johnson. Could he be the value signing that Everton have needed? Barry Salah. Richard, I'm watching Newcastle against West Brom. Still 3-2, that one, isn't it? I believe. Pickford comes out and claims it. George says, predictions for your club's draw in the EFL Cup to chat and key. I'm going Arsenal to face Liverpool away. Allegedly, we've already made our decision to put the kids out in this competition. Tottenham 4-0 against Charlton, and Savinio has scored on his debut. He's only been on the pitch 10 minutes. Savinio makes it 4-0 to Spurs against Charlton. Sorry, Savio. Dignity says he's a better player than he showed at Palace. He is, yeah. There is a player in Brennan Johnson. I think if we look back at his days at Forest, he was really good. He obviously scored the winning goal in the Europa League final for Spurs, but just never quite worked out for him there. And it obviously never worked out for him at Palace either. Maybe he's not really he's not cut out for life in London. Maybe it's that. London's not the easiest place to live if you're a northerner. Or, he's Welsh, isn't he? But you know what I mean? Maybe he's just not adapted to life in the capital. Surf London for Palace. North London for Spurs. He's back up north and doing the business for Everton. Long may it continue. I've got to say that. My granddad's a blue. He's looking down on me. 3-star says, Brennan Johnson just goes to show how piss poor our recruitment team are. We could and should have brought him back to Forest. Yeah, I thought that homecoming was going to be happening for sure. I don't understand how Palace signed him for 35 million quid and were quite happy to just do a swap deal with Dwight McNeil. Here's Illiman and die. That's offside. Yeah, offside. I thought for a second there it might have been 5. Was nearly 5. Just a reminder as well that we are going to be doing Everton at the weekend again. So we're back with we've done a watch along for every single one of Everton's first few games. We did Everton against Palace at 3 o'clock on Saturday just gone. We're doing Preston Everton tonight. We're going to be doing Bournemouth against Everton at 3 o'clock this Saturday, immediately after Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. So I'm going to be watching my beloved Liverpool hopefully not get smashed at home against Forest as we did last season. 3-star, the Forest fan in the chat will be definitely giving me grief if that happens again. He's been giving me grief ever since. So if you're an Evertonian and you want to come and have a laugh at me if Liverpool get beat against Forest, then like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you can enjoy. We'll watch Bournemouth and Everton immediately after it. Come what may, even if we get snotted, I'll come on and take the abuse. I do it every week anyway. Savio's just got another one, 5-0. I knew it was a smart decision putting him in my fantasy team. And speaking of fantasy team, get yours in the Matchday Tavern Fantasy League. The code is just below. Get yours in. See if you can beat me in the mods this season. Callum says Key isn't actually liking this. He's crying inside. I'm not liking it. I'm a red. I don't want to see Everton doing well, but I do quite like Tierno Barry. I said it at the time. I think he's a good player. He's in again here. He's in again. Oh, has he hurt himself? I think he might have pulled his hammy. Has he? Oh, no. He pulled up and he's limping. Oh, no, that's absolutely grim if that's the case. He just looked like he stopped short there and now he's on his haunches. Hands on his knees, little bit of a limp. Hopefully Barry's okay. for the Bournemouth game on Saturday. That'd just be Everton's luck, that, wouldn't it? That'd be Everton to a T. If Tierno Barry scores a hat-trick, gets an assist, and then he's out for a few weeks with a hamstring injury. Mercury says, Everton supporter, Akey. No, I'm not. I'm not an Everton supporter. I'm always a Liverpool fan. My dad was a... Oh, you can see there, he has just maybe caught his studs in the turf there, Barry. Might have just jarred his knee for... Maybe he's okay. Yeah, No, my dad's a Liverpool fan since 1972. Went and watched them home and away. I was always going to be a Red. I was born about 20 minutes from Anfield, Goodison. So I was always going to be a Red. I never had a choice in the matter. But my granddad's a Blue. I've got loads of family who are Blues. My cousins, plenty of cousins are Blues. So it's quite common around Merseyside. You tend to get families who are half red, half blue. Dignity, just liked and subscribed. Really enjoying your channel. Oh, brilliant. We've got another Brighton fan in the channel. Love that. Love that, Dignity. Really appreciate you. Good to see you in, mate, again. And yeah, we'll be watching Brighton Tromsø tomorrow. I know you're at that game. Spurs 5-1. Spurs 5-1. Have Charlton scored? They have, yes. Ben Davies scored. That one, Savinio's goal was given, and Jones has just scored. Lloyd Jones, former Liverpool player, Lloyd Jones. Yeah, Lloyd Jones, ex-Liverpool defender, just scored for Charlton. Mercury, he says he's a Liverpool fan, but we know the truth. Yeah, I'm just doing it. I'm like that Coventry fan. Have you seen that Coventry fan who's in the news at the minute for getting... He was all over BBC, wasn't he? And then, like, as a Coventry fan, and then loads of people have posted videos of him as a Man United fan from years ago. And he said that I only did it. I only became a Man United... I'm actually a Coventry fan. I only became a Man United fan because it was easier to get on podcasts as a United fan. Which is a bit grim, isn't it? But that's what he said. Yeah. Maybe I'm the opposite version of that. I'm actually a Liverpool fan, but I'm secretly an Everton fan. Trying to just, watch the Ev do well. I don't know, it's a friendly derby, innit? Liverpool-Everton, it is the friendly derby. It has got a bit more, bit more animosity in recent years, but Reds and Blues used to sit next to each other in cup finals. Illiman and Dye's gone off for Charlie Alcaraz. Tyreek George is coming on for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, last 10 minutes. And is there any more changes for Everton? I wonder. Maybe Tarkovsky. Looks like he's walking over to the touchline. There's 3 changes. Tyreek George. Oh, it's Asnu. Asnu, Alcaraz and George coming on for the last 10 minutes for Everton. Very surprising to see Adam Asnu coming on. Mercury was like the lad you said was a Liverpool fan till City got good. No, he was an Everton fan. Yeah, he was an Everton fan. Smudger. Big Everton fan. Used to play football with us all the time. And then one day just rocked up to training in a full City kit just after City got took over. And he was like, I've always been a City fan. And everyone was like, what are you on about? No, you weren't. What's Moyes? Moyes is having a... Oh, Moyes isn't happy. Tierno Barry is coming off. Nah, that's not good. That really isn't good. I mean, he's had a big night, but he does look... Yeah, there is a little limp there from Tierno Barry. Might be a questionable one as to whether he's available for the weekend. Adam Asnu comes on for Everton. 3 stars. See you, everyone. Good luck in the draw. Sorry we can't be in the bag with you always next season. Shahid, Key, do you know what Liverpool's transfer plans are? Because I haven't got a clue. Yeah, I think it is. I think we're just kind of asking around. Phoning every club up. Have you got any right wingers? Yeah, how much? 80 million? Would you take 50? No. What about 60? Still no. All right, we'll phone you back. Hey, have you got any right wingers? That's Liverpool's transfer strategy in a nutshell. We're on our 4th bid for a player this window. We went for Jan Diamand. He swerved us. We went for Ibrahim Mbaye, who had a £35 million deal agreed with Bayer Leverkusen. As soon as PSG knew we were interested, that became a £60 million price tag. That's Premier League premiums for you. And then we've swerved that one. We've then gone on to Yankuba Minter. 50 million quid bid rejected. 60 million quid bid rejected. Then we've put a 50 million bid in for Ismail Assar. That's also been rejected. So I have no idea what we're doing. It's a stupid, utterly stupid, disjointed transfer strategy. Liverpool look totally and utterly lost. Charlie Pico, are you doing the draw live? I am, yes. We will be doing the draw immediately after this game. There's 7 minutes left, plus injury time. 7 minutes plus injury time for Everton to hang on to this 4-goal lead. And we've got... Oh, that's wonderful play by George down this left-hand side. Drives into the box. Excellent play by George. Oh, final ball was just missing there, but really good run. Looks really dangerous, George. Very lively. Point to prove. Gamer Guru, seen the Villa deal for Jackson? I haven't, no, but I think Nicholas Jackson's not a bad signing for Villa at all. City of Northville, if you buy Rashi before the window closes, we'll throw in Shaw. See, if we needed a left... See, who I do actually want. Forget Rashford. Rashford's obviously left-sided. We could really do with Amad Diallo, mate, if you're up for swapping us Amad Diallo. Benjamin Key, how are you? Very good, sir. How are you? El Chapo Sarr is decent, though. 22 goals and assists last season. Nothing to be sniffed at, especially for Palace. No, I agree, but he's 28, 29. He's at that point now in his career where you look at him and think... And the optics, it's just the optics aren't great. He can't go from one player to another player to another player to another player. If you... How many times? Just answer me this, and... I'm sorry, Evertonians. There's not really anything going on. There's lots of subs happening. Preston just bringing on some more subs at the minute. So we've not actually seen any football for the last couple of minutes. I've never seen Real Madrid. I'm not saying Liverpool are as big as Madrid. We're not. But we're what you would consider to be at the top table, let's say. The top table of football clubs. And we should be behaving. We should be aspiring to be that level. I have never seen Real Madrid bid for one player... get rejected, bid for another player in the same position in the same window, get rejected, bid for a third player in the same position in the same window, get rejected, and bid for a fourth different player and get rejected. If we go for a fifth, it's crackers. It's absolute mental. It's mental. I don't know who's running the club. Honestly, Bezos, pull your finger out, lad. Callum says George is such a brilliant signing. He reminds me of Balassi. Yeah, Balassi, who famously was a very good signing for Everton. Here is Tyreek George. I've got an idea. Bid 40 million plus one. Go for Madueke. You're all right. I'll be honest. I wouldn't turn my nose up at Madueke. We just need someone who can play on the right and has a little bit of pace. Good football from Asnu. Asnu has looked sharp since he's come on, linking up with Tyreek George. George has looked very sharp. Plays the ball back to the edge of the box for Roll. Roll back out to Asnu. Asnu offside. Kingsloth, Ahmad for Isaac and 140, and he's yours. Scouse, I'm watching Bradford's penalties. Well, yeah, Bradford and Burnley have gone to pens. This one has got 3.5 minutes left, plus added time. Should be done pretty quickly. Let's have a look at the other games. Tonight, Spurs have won 5-1 against Charlton. Savinho getting a goal and an assist off the bench. Newcastle have won 3-2 against West Brom. That was a cracking game, apparently. And, Bradford currently leading Burnley on penalties. And we've got the draw coming up immediately after this game, folks. So, lock in. Hit like, subscribe if you're enjoying the stream. If you want to see more of these popping up on your For You page, on YouTube, on TikTok, on wherever you're watching this. I'm live everywhere. Kick, X, everywhere. Twitch. Follow me on X, actually, because I spend all day shouting into a void over there. It'd be good to get some actual followers. Out on the far side. Too easy. Preston haven't been at it tonight at all. Preston have been all over the place. Can't fault Everton. They've put in a good performance, but it has been a really, really poor night from Preston. They've not really got into the Everton half at any point, and the only chances they've had have been when Everton have made mistakes. Tarkowski and Merlin Roll, defensively, lapses in judgment, let's say. They've not had anything to do all night, and they had two moments where Merlin Roll let the ball roll under his foot, and they had a chance. Preston, they got into the penalty area with Bergzorg, and then in the second half, similar type of thing. Tarkowski didn't really cover himself in glory on that right-hand side. Keane came over and tidied it up for him. Burnley have missed 2 penalties in a row. Bradford going through. Callum says Liverpool v Everton next round. Of course, it's going to be at Anfield, lad. I'm not a fan that says this every season, but I think Everton's best chance of winning at Anfield is this season. Yeah, I can't even say like you can't. Yeah, I don't fancy us at all this season. I think we'll finish maybe 6th or 7th. We're miles off it. I said it last season though as well. Last season wasn't that much of a surprise. We sold a third of our squad. We were always going to be crap last season. Gamer Guru Spurs practicing for when they play Charlton in the Championship next year. 1 minute left. Here's Tyrick George driving forward for the Blues. Inside to Brennan Johnson. Playing a little bit more centrally, Brennan Johnson. Kingsloth says, seeing as though Savinio went for 70 million, Ahmad's got to go for 100, right? No, I don't think so. I think Amad Diallo will go from United, but it won't be this summer. I don't think there's really a market for him this summer. But if he doesn't start getting regular minutes at United, I think he will go. And there is a player in Ahmad. There is a player there. I don't know what type of club would be interested in Ahmad, though. Good ball in. Edge of the box. Comes out to... Is it Asnu? No. Asnu back to... Tyrick George. 2 minutes of added on time here. Everton quite calm, quite relaxed, heading into the final 90 seconds or so. Bradford have beat Burnley on penalties. Terrible from Preston. They couldn't pass 10 yards tonight, Preston. They've been all over the place. Everton have got it back again. Driving forward, good strike. Didn't really get the purchase on it that he needed there, Harrison Armstrong. Looking for a goal against his former club. Good run though, burst from midfield. He's been very good tonight, Harrison Armstrong. That'll give Moyes some confidence. Do wonder how much we'll see of Harrison Armstrong this season with the signings of, obviously, Norgard, Garner back to fitness. Talk of maybe Merlin Roll moving into midfield if Everton do get that right back that they need. Does remain to be seen just how much you'll see of him. But I am really impressed with Tierno Barry tonight. I would say I'm impressed with Dewsbury Hall, but I think Dewsbury Hall's just a wonderful, wonderful player anyway. He's been a great signing for Everton. Needs to do that more consistently, I think, across a season to show, because he's got the ability, there's no doubt about it. He's just always been a bit flaky at times. He was a good signing for Everton last season. He needs to be consistent and keep doing that. And he might work himself into the England setup, or potentially Ireland, isn't it? There's apparently Ireland we're talking about, Dewsbury Hall. But I don't think Grealish does come back to Everton. I think that one looks like it's off the table now. It seems like Sunderland are taking Jack Grealish. Everton will be quite keen to keep hold of Tyrick George, Brennan Johnson, Iliman Ndiaye, and Tyler Diblin on the wings now. So I don't know if they've got much use for Jack Grealish. Leighton, Mr. Thomas, evening mate. New season, same people losing their minds, up the Reds. I mean, to be honest, I'm losing my mind with the way we're going about stuff, mate. Right, full time at Deepdale. Excellent result for Everton. 4-0 winners, comfortable winners. Tierno Barry lighting up Deepdale. He's done well tonight. He has done really well tonight. Hat-trick and an assist. Just remains to be seen whether there is a slight dampener on his night in the fact that maybe he's pulled a hamstring or maybe tweaked his knee. He looked like he went off with a slight injury. He pulled up while he was running. And he didn't look awfully comfortable after that. He limped off the pitch. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Rob, quiz before the draw. We could do a quiz before. I don't know how long the draw is going to take. Is it like half an hour before the draw? It'll be forever cursed if they mess this up. I don't know how long the draw it's going to be before the draw. Slick Rick, is Beto gone? How come Barry got subbed for the defender? Barry, I think, got subbed off because of the fact that he was injured. And Beto, maybe they just looked at it and went, we'd rather give Azanu. I actually think they weren't planning on taking Barry off. I think it was he got injured just as they'd got all the subs queued up. It was going to be Alcaraz, Aznu and George coming on. And I don't think Barry was the planned sub. But then Barry kind of puts his hand up and says, listen, I think I have to come off. I think that's what it looked like. I could be wrong. City of Northville, his body language didn't make that injury look serious, Key. Now, maybe not serious, but I mean in terms of it might keep him out of the weekend against Bournemouth, possibly. Alex says pre-draws being made. Palace, Man U, Man City, Sunderland, Bournemouth and Liverpool have been drawn at home. Arsenal, Villa drawn away. Good news. I'm glad to hear that. I want to see Liverpool get a home draw. It's about time we got a bit of luck. Cheers, Alex. Thanks for the heads up on that one. Jermaine Beckford giving his thoughts on this one tonight. He's ex-Preston and Everton, isn't he? But that's nice. That's nice. All the Everton players kind of pointing at Tierno Barry and saying, listen, give this lad his flowers. He's had a good night. He's had a good couple of weeks as an Everton player. No O'Brien concerning him and Beto will move on sadly now. Liverpool, Everton, let's have it, lads. Liverpool, Everton in the cup. Shahid, I'll be back for the draw, Key. No worries, mate, we'll be here for it. I don't know how long the draw is off from starting. They usually do a little bit of a post-match. A little post-match dissection and then straight onto the draw. We could maybe do a... Well, let's have a look, actually. Let's have a look and see what teams are actually in the draw. So, as it stands, it is in the next round, Leyton Orient, who went through on penalties against Walsall. Ipswich beat Leicester. Norwich won away at Cardiff. Reading are through. Millwall, Brentford, West Ham, which we watched last night. Peterborough, 5-1 winners. Posh, 5-1 winners at Vicarage Road. Fulham and AFC Wimbledon. Is that tomorrow? Oh, there's another one. Fulham Wimbledon and Chelsea Luton are still to play in this round. Ah. Yeah, I think Fulham Wimbledon and Chelsea Luton are still to play tomorrow. So the draw is tonight, but there is two. The stream for the draw is scheduled for 10:15. 20 minutes. We can chill for 20 minutes. We can chill for 20 minutes. We can have a little chat for 20 minutes. Hey, there he is. How's it going, Sam? How's my mate doing? Middlesbrough. Barnsley beat Crewe. Stoke. Hull went through on penalties. Wolves beat Wednesday. Lincoln, the Imps, beating Blackpool 4-1 at Bloomfield Road. Fleetwood 4, Shrewsbury 0. And Bradford knocking Burnley out on penalties. All the better for seeing you. Oh, you handsome devil. You handsome devil. We going for a pint soon, me and you? Bradford 0, Burnley 0, Newcastle 3, West Brom 2, Tottenham 5, Charlton 1, Everton 4, Preston 0. Lots of high-scoring games in this round of the Cup. Callum says, first time in 2 years Pickford started in the Carabao Cup. Really shows how weak we've gone previously. Is it really? That's not that surprising, though. Yeah, Moyes has it, historically, Moyes has always picked weaker teams in the Cups and prioritised maybe Everton doing better in the league. Sarah, are you doing a game tomorrow, Key? Yes, we're doing 2 games, well, 2 lives tomorrow. So we've got the Champions League draw at 5 to 5. So we'll see, I think that's 5 till 6 tomorrow. So we'll do the Champions League draw tomorrow. And then immediately after that, Brighton play Tromso in the Conference League second leg. So Brighton will have their 0-0 from the first leg against Tromso. So it remains to be seen if they can go through. Hopefully they do. And then back on Friday night, by the way, after tomorrow's games and the draw tomorrow, Friday night is Palace against Manchester City. So bit of Friday night football, Palace versus Man City. That should be a good watch. See how Palace bounce back from their defeat at the Hill Dickinson. See if City can do better than they did against Bournemouth. And then obviously on Saturday, we've got 3 games back to back. 3 games. I'll be here 7 hours in this position, stood up. 7 hours on Saturday. We've got 12:30, Liverpool v Nottingham Forest. 3 o'clock straight after, we're going to do Bournemouth against Everton. And then straight after that, 5:30, Tottenham versus Newcastle. So Newcastle, who played the old foe Alexander Isak at the weekend, will face another old enemy in Tonali. Maddock Atkinson, what channel's the cup draw on? It's on Sky Sports. We're watching it now, so I'm going to be covering the draw on Sky Sports. Manolis, good night, mate. Take it easy, Manolis. Great win for AEK. Fantastic win for Athens. But yeah, lots and lots of big games coming up this weekend. Sunday night, Super Sunday is Super Sunday's Ipswich, Man United versus Ipswich. And then Monday night football, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Maddock Atkinson hoping a good draw for the lads. Who's the lads, Maddock? Who's your team? Football Talk, what channel's the draw on? Sky Sports, I believe. Sky Sports, the same channel as that we've just watched Everton and Preston on. Barry hat-trick, absolutely fantastic performance from Tierno Barry. Just remains to be seen whether or not he makes that Bournemouth game. I do think they might. I'm sure Moyes will be asked about it after the game, whether or not what's it like. Maybe he'll need a scan or something, but he didn't look all that comfortable coming off the pitch. Creed says North End are going down, aren't they, Key? No, you're not going down, but you're not looking great either under Heckingbottom. I think he might go sooner rather than later. Rob says there's only one red and white team. Come on, Key. Oh, there's plenty. But hey, the Mackems have looked like they've secured Jack Grealish. What do you make of that? Jake might have pulled it. Yeah, it looks like he may have just maybe a slight. I don't know if it was a knock. Maybe he's jarred his knee. Maybe he's tweaked his hamstring. I don't know what it was, but he just looked uncomfortable, didn't he? After he slammed the brakes on while he was running. You never know with those things. Sometimes they can just be, put a bag of ice on it and he's fine. Sometimes it's an innocuous one and it keeps him out for a few weeks. You never know with these things until they've stopped and rested and the inflammation's gone down. Creed, I'm going now. Take it easy, Creed. See you soon, mate. Commiserations for tonight. Callum says Madrid winning 4-1 versus Sociedad. Mbappe, hat-trick and Vinny. He'll have a great season this year. And Rob says nothing is advanced with Grealish. I thought it was all pretty much done. Maddox says Romano reckons nothing concrete with Grealish. Villa and Everton, he reckons. Don't trust him though. Prefer Ornstein, who reckons we are in. I just don't see Grealish going back to Everton. I know he had a great time there last year and he did well. He got PFA. He got Player of the Month, didn't he? Premier League Player of the Month in August last year. Started the season so well. I just don't feel like there's a place for him there now. Now they've signed Tyreek George and they've got Brennan Johnson. I don't know if that's a Unless maybe the decision for Moyes is that he wants to play Brennan Johnson more centrally. That could work. Maybe he's going to convert Brennan Johnson to a centre forward and have him kind of as a false nine as an option instead of Barry. I guess that could work. It's a risk, but it could work. I would presume Brennan Johnson would be the right winger alongside Ilman and Dye, and then on the left you would have Tyreek George you'd have Tyler Diblin, Ilman and Dye, Tyreek George, and who've I just said? Brennan Johnson. There you go. Shell says, come back to us, Mr. Grealish, and Gamer Guru is shocked he hasn't gone back to Villa. I just feel like with Aston Villa, do they need him? They don't really need a wide player, do they? Jake says, Barry's better than Mbappe, he got a hat-trick. And Rob says, there's a talk-shite rumour of Ndiaye to City. And Ndiaye can't go to... He's not going to leave Everton now. I don't think... Ilman Ndiaye is kind of in one of them sweet spots where he's too expensive for anyone to come and have a look at him. He's too good for Everton to sell him on the cheap for what he's actually worth. I think he's not worth the 100 million that Everton would demand for him. And I don't think any club would be interested at that value, so he's just not going to go. If Everton were actively looking to sell Ndiaye, like there was talk, wasn't there, after the World Cup that he wanted to leave and he was considering his options and all this sort of stuff. I reckon you could maybe get in that market, you could maybe get 80 for him at a push if he was going to Saudi. I don't think you're getting anywhere north of that for the Ilman Ndiaye. Dignity, how old is Grealish now? I think he's 31, is he? Is he 31? Jack Grealish? He's 31 in September, so 2 weeks. He's 30, but he's 31 in 2 weeks' time. And according to The Guardian, Sunderland are speaking to City about a loan move, as well as targeting Marseille's Igor Paixão, ex-Feyenoord winger. Current Marseille winger, Igor Paixão. Lewis, what's your opinion on Morgan Birtwistle? Nice lad. Amazing, nice to see good stuff happening to him. It's nice to see, working class lad done well. Fair play to him, Angry Gingy, he's done well. Ryan, could Dibbling leave on loan? Can't see it. Matthew Ross, just watched the game back from the weekend. Do you think pressure got to Isak, or is he that bad? I don't really think we've done anything to help Isak, to be honest. Again, for me, I think Alexander Isak needs a lot more support than we've given him. So, yeah, and he needs more time on the pitch, to be honest, before we can determine whether or not he is or isn't any good. Wise Guy Maguire, you sticking around for the draw, key dude? I am indeed, sir. I am indeed. We're sticking around for the draw, which is coming up in about 10 minutes or so. So we'll see who everyone gets. Looking forward to it. Liverpool, my beloved Liverpool are in the draw. Everton are in the draw. Could Liverpool get the Ev at Anfield? Gamer Guru, I'm going to miss a few streams and games soon. Just got keys to my new home today. Got to transfer my broadband and start decorating. Oh, good lad. Congratulations, mate. I mean, it's not good enough that you're missing streams. You're going to have to find a way, I'm sorry, of getting in. Completely and utterly unacceptable. But no, massive congratulations on the new gaff. We'll see you. We'll see you when you're back in. Hopefully your broadband doesn't take a week and a half like mine did when I moved in. Cash says Dibbling can go on loan, make way for Grealish and Brennan Johnson. Who would take Tyler Dibbling on loan? Who would be interested in a Tyler Dibbling on loan at this point in the season? Because I get the feeling that it'd only be a championship side. And I'm not sure Everton would be all that keen on him going to a championship side. There's not a team in the Premier League that would take Tyler Dibbling. I don't think. And that's no knock on him. I just think, Everton would want him to go somewhere where he would start. And I don't think he would start for any team in the Prem. Whereas I think in the Championship he'd start every week for quite a few teams. There might be some teams willing to take him in the Prem, but he'd have a similar role to the one that he would have at Everton. So I don't know. I don't know, if I'm dead honest, how worthwhile a loan might be. Tierno Barry's absolutely buzzing there, isn't he, with his man of the match award, fully deserved. Rasta says if the deal goes through, Sunderland in Europe, so that might tempt him to Sunderland. Yep. Liverpool v Everton, Newcastle can see it now. Key, Brentford getting Juve is incredible. He's an incredible left back. I think he'll do well for him. Yeah, Juve and Coyote. Mark, perhaps Southampton take him back. Southampton might take him back, but again, I just don't think Everton would want him to go to a Championship club. He's £42 million worth of investment. They've put a lot into him. I think they would expect him to get Premier League football, and I think to some degree, I think Moyes is being almost not held over a barrel, but almost like, listen, we've invested massive money in this kid. You better play him. You're gonna have to play him. He's done quite well in pre-season. He didn't do a lot tonight. But there is talent there. I think there is talent there, but it's not looking like a particularly wise investment at this point. Sometimes kids bloom a little bit later as wingers, especially. It takes them maybe some time to kind of beef up and bulk up, to get the knocks that they take in the Premier League. But there is talent with Tyler Diblin, but I just don't know how keen Everton would be to send him out on a loan to a Championship club where he's not really going to get that many minutes. Blue for life, if there's a loan on the table, I can see him coming back to Everton, but it's all if City will loan him while it's his last year. I think they probably would loan him, because they're not... What are they going to do? Like, they might get maybe 10 million for him if it was a permanent move. So a loan might suit all parties. Maybe it's a loan with bonuses. I don't know. It's quite a complex deal, isn't it? Given the wages that he's on, given the fact that he's available in a year on a free, his age. Club's probably not that keen on paying 10, 15, 20 million for Grealish at 31 years of age. But yeah, he's a good player. David, when does the draw start, please? We're not entirely sure. I think the draw allegedly is coming up at 10:15. It might be just after that. We're not 100% sure, but apparently it was 10:15. That was the latest from a few minutes ago. In fact, let me just put that up on the headline so we can change that. So okay, Football Talk says 10:15, 10:20, okay. Romano saying Grealish choosing between Everton and Villa, says Fabrizio Romano. I wonder. Draw starts once the brown envelopes have exchanged hands, indeed. Oh, it's a great piece of play, that from Barry, though. Just looking back at that Johnson goal. Brennan Johnson run onto it. Couldn't believe his luck. Lovely finish. Good play. Finn 4447. Thoughts on Barry? Barry was excellent tonight. Yeah, we've been singing his praises, mate. I thought he was excellent. Fully deserved the match ball. I think he will. He needs more nights like this. Obviously, he really does need to start kicking on for Everton. He was a big money signing. A lot of Blues kind of lost faith in him last season, as much for his off the field stuff as it was for his on the field stuff. There was moments in the first half where that moment specifically there where he runs through on goal and he kind of scuffs it, doesn't quite do enough. And he, I think at a top in the Premier League, I don't think he gets the chances that he gets tonight. he might only get half of the chances that he gets tonight. So he does need to work on his finishing. He does need to work on his movement in terms of being in the right place at the right time. But tonight was fantastic. And in terms of confidence, you can't really ask for more than that. He was busy. Great assist for the fourth goal. If anything, I would say the fourth goal was the best bit of the night. I would say it was the best bit of the night for Tierno Barry, the assist. He bullied the defender, won the ball back, got his head up and slotted a lovely pass through for Brennan Johnson. That was probably the best moment of the game for him, even though he had a hat-trick by that point. Fink says, another Prem club in for Alvarez. Likely Liverpool, they say. Would he be good for Liverpool, Key? Well, he's a great player, but he's not really what we need. I like him. I like Julian Alvarez. I just thought he's not really... Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense him coming to Liverpool, if I'm dead honest. Rupert, love that result. Just got off work. Great result for Everton. Can't fault it. Johnson goal and assist too. Yeah. Johnson, Tierno, Barry. Plenty of good performances tonight for Everton. Prince Rupert just tired, thanks you. Yeah, all good. All good, mate. Tierno Barry, absolute mustard. He did play well. He did. He was very good tonight. I guess the question mark for Evertonians now is how many goals can you reasonably expect of Tierno Barry this season? So they signed him for 30-odd million quid. Was it 30, 35? I can't remember exactly how much it was that they paid for him. He's still only... he's 24. He's 24 in a month or so. So he's near enough 24. He got 9 goals in 39 appearances for Everton last season. And already he's on 4 in 2 appearances this season. So he's basically halfway. No, it wasn't even 9. It was 8. He got 8 in 41 appearances last season for Everton. So effectively, he's halfway to his total for last season. And he's only 2 games in. That's bold. That's got to bode well. Has to bode well. Busby Babes, I agree, Kate. Alvarez would make sense in the short term, less so when Ekatiki's back and with Isak. Yeah, none of that makes any sense at all. Wonderful player, but it's round pegs in square holes again for Liverpool. There's not really any joined up thinking for me at the club. That's my concern as a Liverpool fan. Blue for Life says, I can see Johnson being decent for us, you know. Well, listen, I'm a Liverpool fan, mate, full disclosure, but I agree. I think Brennan Johnson, there is a little bit of a renaissance there, potentially. Everton have got a good value for money signing, I think. SPCY, no disrespect to Preston, like it's only a championship side, but a hat-trick, still a hat-trick at the end of the day. This confidence boost may do wonders. He seems a confidence player, doesn't he, as well? I thought there was something different in how he played against Palace as well. Just a little bit busier, using his frame a little bit more. He's a big lad. We didn't really see enough of that last season where he was kind of, really getting in between the centre-backs and putting himself about a bit. You want to see a big lad. How tall is he? He's got to be like 6'3", 6'4", hasn't he? 6'5". He's 6'5". He's not far off Peter Crouch. He's massive. And he's got a bit of pace. And he can be... He's maybe not as strong as you would expect him to be for a lad that size. But you just want him using the gifts God gave him, I guess, in terms of his physicality. And he doesn't do that enough for me. But very, very busy tonight. Bustling. Put himself about. Won the ball back. Got his head up as well, which is important. Too often plays with his head down. Lovely little ball through. Excellent play. His legs are a bit weak, that's his problems. And Geordie Break says, we're getting the Mackems away here, I'm calling it now. Oh, Newcastle v Sunderland will take it. Yeah, there could be some big fixtures coming up here. I expect we're going to get a pretty tasty draw. Let's see. Hassan wins the draw. It's coming up in about 10 minutes, I believe, mate. 5-10 minutes. Just waiting for the adverts to drop. As soon as the adverts finish, which should be, they'll have it all set up. Bezzy says Liverpool in for Sharda with 2 Prem clubs. What do you make of him, Key? He's left-sided. Again, that wouldn't fill me with confidence. I like him as a player, but why are we signing another left winger? We've got Munoz, we've got Gakpo, we've been trying all summer for Barcola, and we've got Rio. So effectively, we've got 4 left wingers if we sign him. Doesn't make any sense. Just mad. What a performance from Barry tonight. Yeah. Are West Ham and Millwall still in? Well, Millwall, yes, they beat Cambridge. West Ham, yes, we know for sure because they beat Southampton. So, yeah. Mercury, West Ham at Millwall, do it, FA. And SPCY says, mark my words, Everton away at Reading. At the Select Car Leasing Stadium. Or the Medeski, as it always was known. Right, they're just showing the Newcastle goals back. Newcastle 3, West Brom 2. Good finish, that. Oh, no, was that the winner? I think that's just the winning goal, isn't it, from Harvey Barnes? 3-2. Here we go. Round 3 draw numbers. Here we go. The draw numbers on the screen. The ones to watch out for. Arsenal are number 2. Man United number 6. City number 5. Liverpool number 7. Everton are number 30. Everton are number 30. Who else? Chelsea could be number 31 if they beat Luton. Spurs number 29. Newcastle 28. Arsenal 2nd. So draw numbers. Bournemouth 1. Arsenal 2. Villa 3. Palace 4, City 5, United 6, Liverpool 7. Everton, number 30. The 3, there you go, pre-draw. Liverpool definitely at home. Arsenal and Villa definitely away. United and City definitely at home as well. So, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, Bournemouth, Sunderland, City, United and Palace cannot draw each other. Fixtures to be played week commencing the 7th and 14th of September. Dignity, as exciting as it can be, I'll be happy when the transfer window shuts and we can just get on with the football. Yes, you and me both. The draw is about to commence. The draw is about to commence and it's going to be Jamie Redknapp and Jermaine Beckford to do it. Here we go. I'll keep you updated. I will keep you updated. So, draw number is 19. So it's Crystal Palace against Borough. I'll put them in the chat. As they come in, I'll put them in the chat. Crystal Palace versus Borough. Man United versus... Who've United got? Number 11. Brighton. Oh, Man United versus Brighton. Go on then. They'll knock them out. They'll knock them out for sure. City. Man City versus... 21. Norwich. City have got to buy then. City have got to buy. Norwich are a tough side under Philippe Clement. They've done all right actually recently. Sunderland. Here we go. Who've the Mackhams got? Sunderland versus Hull. Hull City went through on penalties last night against Stoke. Now, who's Arsenal got? Who've Arsenal got? Arsenal are away at Ipswich. Arsenal face a trip to Portman Road. Now we go on to the next one, which is Aston Villa. Aston Villa are away from home and they play number 12, Coventry. So it's a Midlands derby. Coventry versus Villa. Coventry versus Villa. Next one out is Bournemouth versus Everton. I've got a feeling. No, it's number 18, which is Lincoln, the Imps. The Imps head down to the south coast. Liverpool, here we go. Who've Liverpool got? Give us an easy one. 29. Tottenham. Oh no, we've got Spuds. Liverpool v Spurs. That's a bad one. That's getting televised, isn't it? You know that's the big one right there. Liverpool versus Spurs. Oh, Man United, Brighton, Liverpool, Spurs. I can already see those are the standouts. Chelsea or Luton versus who? Who's next? Chelsea or Luton versus 16, which is Leeds, dirty Leeds, Chelsea Leeds. Chelsea versus Leeds. Next one out. Number 20, which is Millwall. West Ham are still in. Millwall, West Ham. Go on, give it to us. Give it to us. 28. Newcastle. Oh, Geordies won't like that trip. It's not a good place, that one. Not a good place to go. Fleetwood. Oh, this one's Everton in it. Fleetwood versus who Fleetwood got? 24. No. Sheffield United. The Blades heading to Fleetwood. Who's next? 30. That's Everton. Everton are at home. Who have they got? Give them a tough one. Give them a tough one. Give them someone good. Anyone. Who've Everton got? 26. Wolves. Oh, Everton Wolves. They're through. Everton are through. Probably further than Liverpool, knowing that Spurs result. Leyton Orient versus... We really could have done with an easy round, us. Because we've got so many bad games. Leyton Orient face Bradford. We've got so many tough fixtures around these Carabao Cup games. It's going to be a hell of a bad run. Reading versus who? Who've Reading got? Reading face number 10, which I think is Brentford. It is. Reading, Brentford. Peterborough, Posh, 5-1 winners at Vicarage Road. They get a home tie against... There's only a couple of balls left. Number 9, Barnsley, Tykes. The Tykes head to Posh. And then the final one is West Ham at the London Stadium face Palace? Fulham or Wimbledon? Fulham or Wimbledon. So there you go. That is the full draw. They will just recap it now. But Fulham face Fulham or Wimbledon. Fulham play Wimbledon tomorrow night. They will play West Ham away. Peterborough v Barnsley. Reading v Brentford. Leyton Orient versus Bradford. Everton play Wolves. Fleetwood versus Sheffield United. Millwall v Newcastle. Chelsea or Luton. Chelsea and Luton, of course, play tomorrow as well. They will face Leeds at Stamford Bridge, assuming they beat Luton. Liverpool versus Spurs, which looks like the tie of the round at this point. Bournemouth versus Lincoln. Coventry versus Villa looks like a tough one on paper as well. Ipswich v Arsenal. Sunderland v Hull. City v Norwich. Manchester United against Brighton. That's a hell of a tie. And Crystal Palace versus Middlesbrough. There you go. All those ties. Fixtures to be played week commencing September the 7th and the 14th. I expect Everton are through. But yeah, good draw, that one. Good draw. Some juicy results. Some juicy fixtures coming through. And yeah, we've just, belabor against Brighton. Right. Everyone in the chat, I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you've not already, hit like, hit subscribe on the way out. Help me out. Help a brother out. We're trying to grow the channel. We've only been going for about 8 to 10 weeks. And we're still trying to get back to the 23, 24k subscribers we had last year on Premier League, Dad. We're live every single day. We're going to be watching Everton against Bournemouth on Saturday at 3 o'clock. We do a live watch-along every single day. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing the Champions League draw at 5. Immediately after that, we're doing Brighton against Tromsø. Brighton in Europe. You can watch that with us if you fancy. Friday, we're going to be doing Palace against Man City. Live on Friday Night Football. Saturday, we're going to be doing Liverpool v Forest, 12:30. Bournemouth Everton, 3 o'clock. 5:30, Tottenham Newcastle. Great day on Saturday. Sunday, Ipswich at Old Trafford. Man United Ipswich. Let's see if the newly promoted sides can do United 2 times in a row. Come on. Come on, Ipswich. And then Monday Night Football, we finish with Aston Villa against Arsenal. So loads and loads of good football coming up over the next week or so. Make sure you've liked, subscribed. You'll start seeing these pop up on your feed more and more. And big thank you to everyone in the chat tonight. Thank you so much. Have a nice night. Ta-ra. See you soon.